Joey Joyce, the Juggernaut versus Zile Zhang.
Someone's getting knocked out, as Eddie Hearn once famously said.
It goes down live Saturday, DR Sports Boxing.
Make sure you're there, man. We're going to be getting the beers out. We're going to be with the boys, having a great time. You do not want to miss it. Joyce, Zhang, put it in your calendar. Make sure you're there this Saturday on DR Sports, because it's about to get tasty.
Make sure you check it out.
Good afternoon and welcome back to DR Sports for another edition, game week 31 of the Saturday Football Show with myself, AGT. My co-host Doyle is also in the building. We've also been lucky enough to be joined today by Lord Ty is in the building as well. Let's get a round of applause for him in the studio. There we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to DR Sports for inviting me. I don't know about Lord of Lucky, I think, but thank you very much.
Well,
nice to be here with everyone.
After that second half at Anfield last week, and we will speak about that. But time to introduce another guest, another debutante on the Saturday Football Show. It's Semmy, the Chelsea fan. How are we, mate?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Good to have you on. Don't forget as well, we do have that massive boxing stream tonight for you at 9 o'clock on DR Sports. We've got Nick, Laurie, James Toon is going to be there as well for the big one. Joe the Juggernaut, Joyce versus Zhang. It's all going down from 9 p.m. on DR Sports. Make sure you are around for that one. What a show we've got today, by the way, chaps. Some really good and interesting 3 o'clock kickoffs for you. Chelsea at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. That's going to be one we're keeping our eyes on for sure with Semmy inside. We've also got Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Brentford, Tottenham Bournemouth, Southampton versus struggling Palace. Well, they're both struggling a lot, aren't they? Everton versus Palace, and later on at 5:30 after us, it's Man City versus Leicester. We've also just seen Aston Villa absolutely put Newcastle United to the sword, 3-0. Early goal from Jacob Ramsey, 2 from Ollie Watkins. That's now 8-8 for him. And he could have had a lot more. He hit the post. He had an offside goal as well.
30 seconds, that was.
So before we get into analysing that one, make sure you like the video, you comment with your thoughts on today's games as we go on, as all the goals fly in from around England, not just Premier League that we cover on here. We do like to look after the lower leagues as well, the Championship, and even abroad if there's a good game, and the National League as well, because that is one of the most entertaining leagues in football right now. Subscribe to DR Sports if you have not already, and at 3:06 today we will be remembering Hillsborough on the 34th anniversary. So we've got something planned for that. And of course, as always, we won't just say it once, we'll say it every time. But of course, it's justice for the 97 as well.
Always.
Right, let's get into Aston Villa Newcastle. Then we'll take you through the lineups. 25 minutes away from the 3 o'clock kickoffs right now. But that was a thumping. Was it not, boys? There was a comment here, a super chat, in fact, that says, and Matty Renton, look away, my friend. Villa smoked the Toon Army. Yep. Matty mudded. Can we also talk about FUAD's 2014 pick, making him look like a BBC presenter? FUAD's not actually on the show, but I'm sure we get that picture up later on in the show. However, Villa were smoked. I mean, Villa did smoke Newcastle, sorry.
Absolutely smoked them.
And Matty Renton is in the mud a little bit after that one.
Do you know what, lads? It's one of them. I don't think anybody expected Newcastle to lose starting off, but didn't expect them to lose 3-0. Because they've got one of the best defences in the league. They don't concede 3 goals.
They conceded before today.
And now they've conceded 24, which is a big chunk of that quick 21, maths, do you know what I mean? So I don't think everyone's surprised by that, but when you've got the likes, Unai, right, has come into this Aston Villa team and he's been phenomenal, lad, he really has. And when you've got the likes of Ollie Watkins at the top and he knows how to utilise them properly, I think I was watching the commentator say it. You're seeing Ollie Watkins have them more central, direct runs, and he's getting the ball from the likes of Jacob Ramsey and all the creative players behind him, Buendia, all of them, So, do you know what? I am surprised, but I'm not, because that Aston Villa team is riddled with quality. And while they were playing with Gerrard, he didn't quite see it. He couldn't quite get the quality from them because he was dropping players and his team was never solid. But you're seeing it with Unai. Look at them. They're flying, love.
Absolutely flying, aren't they? I think he scored 12 goals now, Ollie Watkins, since the World Cup. As many as Erling Haaland, by the way.
That's what I've got a question for Ty about this. Are you happy to see Unai Emery doing well, mate?
Of course, of course. First of all, can I just say, that I've got an apology to make from the Bias show in the fact that I said it's the 14th anniversary. It's in fact the 34th anniversary of Hillsborough. So I apologise, and shout out to Jurgen Klopp as well, because he said that we were the best well-behaved fans, which is really a nice compliment, but also disappointed in the fact that I can't understand. I understand rivalry and tribalism and all that, but I can't understand when there's tragedies why anybody would want to make noise in a minute silence. I can't understand it, because does that mean then that we can't divorce football from tragedies for 1 minute?
Yeah, no, listen, Arsenal, I was there in the stadium, it was impeccably
Yeah, so
observed. Going back onto
you,
Unai
lads.
Emery, thank you, we appreciate that.
No,
back
sorry.
onto Unai, I mean, this guy is pulling up trees at Villa, considering where they were at the start of the season under Gerrard. And obviously, Dan Lawless is also joining us, by the way.
Mr. Lawless.
Got caught in that Tottenham traffic on the way here from the East End, I reckon.
Inside Lawless.
But Dan Lawless is here as well. Round of applause for him on the show, yeah?
Here he is. Sorry, I'm late, lads.
Come take a seat next to me,
Caught up
Lawless.
with all the Bournemouth fans out there. Had to give them my
All
best
right.
of my
It
best
was-
of luck.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of traffic.
I second that.
I'm sure you do. But unbelievable result there for
Yeah.
Aston Villa. We're looking at some of the goals now. All quality goals as
Yeah.
well. Great
Top
build-up
qualities are all
play.
up.
Everything seems to be clicking for them right now. Alex Moreno as well, looking really good. Gets an assist there, the former Betis left back.
Yes.
But Semmy, I mean, Chelsea obviously well off it, and Newcastle are obviously occupying that fourth position right now. How far away are you from the likes of the Villas and even the Newcastles and the Uniteds, Tottenhams? I mean, we're just ahead of Chelsea ourselves, but playing at home today to Brighton, I mean, obviously we know they're no mugs, but how far away are you from these guys at the minute?
Well, I mean, from a talent point of view, obviously not. We're obviously kind of better than them. If you look at
On
terms
paper,
of play,
yeah.
on paper in terms of talented players and personnel that you have in the team, but just in terms of actually putting it together and playing as a team and actually being able to play well in games, very, very well off. I'm watching teams like Brentford, Villa, Newcastle. Newcastle are in the top four, so that's fair enough. But even just teams that are just actually outside that top six, in between like 6th and 9th, I'm watching those teams play, and they're just playing a lot better than we are. And for all the money we spent, for all the talent we have in the team, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's quite unacceptable to be honest with you. So yeah, to answer your question, like we are very far away. But I think there's a number of things that come into it, just in terms of from a squad perspective, from a managerial perspective. It's been a very chaotic season since Tuchel was sacked. So yeah, and we've never really been able to get it kind of on track. There's always been some sort of chaos going on. There's always been some sort of issue just in terms of the squad and in terms of the manager and being able to put things together. So, and it's just something that's just carried on throughout the whole season. So yeah, man, that's where we're at right now.
It's difficult, lad. These clubs that you're talking about, in the Brightons, the Aston Villas, the Brentfords, all that type of stuff, what we're seeing is, yes, you have better quality in your team, but these teams are run better and the structure of the club is much better. So it all starts from there, and you can't really compete if you haven't got that. It doesn't matter who you've got in your team, and that's why you're suffering at the moment, and that's why they're doing well. Like, if you look at the models, Brentford, I always talk about Brentford, they're successful because they have a very distinctive style of structure for their club. They don't have an academy, but they have an owner who was a professional poker player, and he looks at stats and metrics that other clubs just don't look at, and that's why he's got a successful running team. Like, Thomas Frank is an elite manager, in my opinion. He really is.
I agree.
And some of the players he's got there as well. Tony, elite player. And so all these teams now in the Premier League, you can't sleep on them, lads. You just can't.
Yeah, you can't. Definitely can't.
Because they've all got quality.
Tina sends in a super chat. She always does. Thank you, watching from Norway. She says,
thank
if
you,
Villa
Tina.
get Europa Conference League or Europa League this season, should Unai Emery be awarded the manager of the season or not? Remember when he came, Villa were relegation favourites.
No, that's fair.
That is fair.
I don't know about manager of the season.
If
But he
Arsenal
should-
win the league, Arteta should get it.
Yeah,
If
agreed.
they
Hopefully.
win the league.
I think if Arsenal win the league, Arteta. If they don't win the league, I'll personally say Eddie Howe. If Newcastle gets top
Same.
4,
I was about to
Okay.
mention his name as well. Eddie
Okay.
Howe,
I'm
you've
sure
got to
we'll
look
talk
at the
about
job
that
he's
some
done.
more.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter
absolutely.
about money, lads. It's not all about money.
No,
He's
it's-
bought
no.
well. He's run the club
has.
well. Incremental development, fantastic.
De
I think
Zerbi is a shout as well.
Oh yeah,
absolutely as well.
yeah.
These
Deserves a
well-run clubs, it's heavy,
Yeah.
and Liverpool are suffering. So Chelsea at the moment,
And-
it's painful.
And also to your point about well-run clubs, it's also about actually having good managers as well. Like
Yeah, of
managers
course.
that are actually
Yeah.
tactically astute. They know their team. They've got a number in the squad that's not too beyond what they can handle, which I think is a problem at Chelsea. These things, they all matter because it builds into like the chemistry of the team. It builds into like even taking training and stuff like that, it makes the job a lot easier for the manager to implement what he wants to do. But if you've got like an abundance of squad players, some of which you didn't even really have a say in bringing to the club, it's very, very difficult to implement something, and it's difficult to really stamp your authority on the team.
And that shows timing's everything, I think, in football. Because I look at Unai Emery. We went in for him in 2015. He was building something, just got Champions League football with Sevilla, was like, no, I want to stay and build this. Later on, obviously, Arsenal come call and he goes to Arsenal. Now, this season, Gerrard falls off a cliff. They sack Gerrard early and get Emery. And then later on, a few months later, we need a new manager. Emery's gone. All these other managers are gone. And I just look at if we get Emery, if Emery had these players, man, we'd be probably where Villa are. Spot
on. Timing is everything. And that'll probably lead us on to one of the points that we're actually going to talk about today. Liverpool's transfers and why we are where we are right now. And that's probably because of timing, because we didn't look at midfielders, we didn't look at the gaps that we needed to fill. And now when it's coming to buying the likes of Jude Bellingham, we all of a sudden don't have the dough for it because we haven't spent in the windows where we should have spent. And that's
Klopp told you lot to sit down and behave yourselves.
He did, lad,
stop being spoiled.
He did, lad, and he's coming out now and he's talking about how, you can't, what was the saying that he said? If a kid asks you for a Ferrari, you tell him it's too much dough. But my counter-argument to that is, if you're Liverpool, there's no such thing as too much dough, lad. You should be able to spend what you want. We're one of the most profitable teams on the planet, especially in the last 5 years. One of the most successful teams as well. So the fact that we're moving like Tottenham and we're not spending like Liverpool, it is a bit worrying for me. I've got to look at the owners and think, what's going on here?
Well, don't say too much because we will get into that. We've got a full discussion planned for that. I'm sure you can say it again because it is frustrating, as we know.
Absolutely no problem to say it again, buddy.
Absolutely. Eskriz says, AGT and Ty, it's lit. Jacob Ramsey is a baller, says
he is a
baller.
Proper.
He is an absolute baller,
a couple more good comments coming in. Liverpool are one of the biggest clubs, as we know, says Dan. Yes, glad to see AGT and Doyle co-hosting again.
Thank you very much. Love doing this with me, best mate, lads. Great.
Very, very fun. Right, let's get into the lineups then, shall we? Let's see how Chelsea face up against Chelsea reserves. Sorry, Brighton. At Stamford Bridge today.
Very good.
Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal, Trevor Chalobah, Fofana, Badashile and Chilwell, who was recently sent off in the Champions League. Of course, that ban doesn't apply for the Premier League, so that's your back five. Gallagher, Enzo and Zakaria in midfield with Mudryk, and Sterling and Pulisic getting a start as well. How do you react to that? Because to me, it's probably not the strongest team you can put up.
Yes, it's a mishmash of players, to be honest. You'd assume he probably has the Tuesday game in mind, return leg against Real Madrid. But it's a very, very, very strange lineup. I think someone like Zakaria's been out in the cold, really. I know he had some injuries at the start of the year, but kind of been brought in out of nowhere, really, to play his first game on a Lampard. Pulisic as well, someone that's on the fringes. Chalobah's been on the fringes. Baliashvili's been on the fringes. Even though he came in when he signed, he was actually playing a lot regularly, and then kind of just came out of the team. A lot of players. Even Mudryk, the £80 million signing, he's been out in the cold as well, really. So a lot of players that aren't.
This is kind of your B team. Is that what you're saying right now?
I mean, that's a hell of a B team still. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean. It is a hell of a B team on paper, but when you haven't had the momentum of playing games, when you haven't had the confidence of playing well, it's not straightforward. It doesn't fill me with much confidence.
He's prioritising the Champions League.
Yeah, it's definitely. It looks like he's definitely prioritising that return leg against Real Madrid. So.
Sanchez in goal for Brighton. Veltman Dunk, who is really up there in terms of stats. Boss this season. It goes under the radar.
He has been underrated for the past few years.
He really has been.
He's a great leader and he's a great goal scorer as well for the defender. He really is.
Webster joins him with Estupiñán at left back. Pascal Gross, Caicedo, March, McAllister, Mitoma and Evan Ferguson up front for Brighton. That team can hurt Chelsea today.
Oh yeah, they will.
Any team to be fair.
Billy Gilmore on the bench for Brighton as well. Interestingly enough. Wolves at home to Brentford. Jose Sarr in goal, Semedo, Dawson, Kilman and Totti at left back. Mateus Nunes, who scored the winner against Chelsea last week, João Gomez, Lemina and Sarabia at left midfield with Diego Costa and Mateus Cunha, two former Atletico Madrid strikers up front today for Wolverhampton Wanderers. In goal for Brentford, the ever reliable David Raya. Hickey, Pinnock, me and Henry at the back with Mbeumo, Jensen, Norgard, Da Silva, with Tony and Sade up front, not to be confused with the very good singer Sade.
Which was actually no, that's right. And your love is king, but it's actually pronounced Sade because she's Nigerian. They pronounce it Sade and it's wrong.
Okay,
no,
sorry, lad.
no. She's mixed race, but I mean the name is Sade. People always call it Sade, like they call Dele Ali. It's actually Sade, and it's actually Dele.
Accent, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Right. Caught in and amongst the Bournemouth fans was Dan. Let's see who Tottenham have gone with today. Lloris, Romero, Dyer and Longley at the back. Wing backs Perisic and Porro, Højbjerg and Skip in the middle with Son, Kulusevski, and of course England's all-time leading goal scorer, Harry Kane up front. Neto, Vigna, Stevens, Meffam, Kelly at the back for Bournemouth. Rothwell and Lerma, Christie, Billing, who's having a really good season.
Very good.
With Tavernier and Solanke making up the 11 there. Score prediction for that one, gents?
I'm going to go 1-1, you know.
1-1?
I'm going to go 1-1. I can see
Is that in
Spurs.
hope?
It's a mixture of hope and the history of the Tottenham. You know, there's a little bit of that. I can see it.
We'll speak about the history of the West Ham as well in a bit.
A Bournemouth on form.
Do you know what? They've been getting a few little results here and there. Do you know what I mean? They're not in Southampton form.
No.
But yeah, here and there, they've been able to pull out some results. So
Currently in 15th, 3 points above the drop zone. As we know, it can change
Always.
at the drop of a hat, can't it?
It can.
Let's also go back and do predictions as well for Chelsea and the Wolves game. Chelsea, I'm going to go 1-1 on that one for me.
Same.
I'm going to go 1-1 as well.
2-1 Brighton.
Yeah, can see it, lads.
Do you know what? I'm swaying towards that, but I just didn't want to be too negative.
On your neck.
I don't, my debut as well. Yeah, I don't want to be too.
1-0 Brighton. Danny Welbeck.
Danny Welbeck to come off the bench.
Yeah, I must say, by the way, Semmy, it's not nice when you lose on these streams, let me tell you.
Oh, no.
It's not. Because you're stuck here as well, lad. You're stuck for the whole time, mate.
Oh, no. I mean, it's been 30 match days of pretty much of beyond.
Not niceness.
But yeah, not niceness. So I think I can handle one.
It could be worse. You could be in the bottom three.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Not too far off.
Nearly. Have you got the 40 points yet?
Not yet.
Today could be the day you stay up, man.
That's what Matisse is always saying. Matisse is always saying
He
about
always
40
says that.
points, isn't
If
it?
they got relegated, they might go bankrupt with their contracts.
Yeah,
and-
that's
Parachute payments won't save them.
No.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
I can't see that. I can't see
Wolves
that.
versus Brentford.
Ooh.
I'm going for a
Wolves,
2-2.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford.
That has draw written.
I'm going to
all
say
over it.
2-1 to Brentford. Brentford are sick, lads.
I'm
Just going with the home
I'm going for
draw
Brentford as well.
At Wolves.
because they just beat Chelsea at home.
They have beat Chelsea,
Yeah, they
but
did.
this Brentford team are very serious.
Naughty, lad.
Very
Very,
serious. I know
very
they
good
lost against
Brentford.
Newcastle.
They're unlucky
You
to
know,
lose
but
against Newcastle.
I think so. Listen, they've only lost home. I'm gonna go 2-1 Brentford.
2-1 to Brentford.
Yeah.
The next game, both really struggling down there in the bottom of the table. Southampton versus Palace in goal. It's Bazunu, who is now Ireland's #1 goalkeeper, which is great to see. Maitland-Niles, Bednarek,
Ainsley.
Bello, Kotchap and Walker Peters make the back five with Aribo, Lavia, Ward-Prowse, Walcott, Alcaraz and Camaldine up front. I mean, that midfield, especially of Aribo, Lavia, Ward-Prowse and Walcott, that's too good to go down.
Horrible then to watch, lads.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it
They're
is
bottom
going
of the
down,
table,
lad.
guys.
That is going
They
down.
are. They are.
Roy Hodgson on fire since he came back and
Yeah.
replaced Paddy Vieira.
Wow,
Johnny
Roy Boyle.
Boyle.
Never been
Trick
saying that in
legend.
2023.
No, that's right.
Exactly.
Roy Boyle scored
Honestly.
5 goals last week, lad.
It's unbelievable how well he's come in and done so
It is.
far. Can
It
he
is
make it
unbelievable.
3 in a row today? Joel Ward at right back, Anderson, Guehi and Mitchell, with Eze, Doucouré and Schlupp, Jordan Ayew, Edouard and Elise up front there for Palace. Score predictions, please.
I reckon Crystal Palace are going to win this one, lad. 2-1.
2-1 Palace.
1-0 Southampton. I'm going for it. I think they can get a big result today.
Semmy?
1-0 Palace.
Palace.
I can't go against Southampton with Ainsley on loan and our ex-player Theo, so I'm going to go. even though I might have if the legend Patrick stood at Crystal Palace, but I think Southampton have to win sometime. And also, we want them to win because when they play us, we hopefully will beat them. So I go 2-0 Southampton.
I'm going 2-1 Palace.
Oh,
Little cheeky away
Yeah,
win.
Palace just come off
It just seems too
5-1,
obvious, man. It's one of them ones where everyone goes, yeah, Palace, and then like it's one of them shock results. So
Absolutely.
I feel it.
Yeah.
You know.
Everton at home to Fulham today at Goodison Park.
Marco
3
Silva's
o'clock.
return.
Anthony Taylor, the Marco Silva derby. Pickford, Godfrey, Keane, Tarkovsky and Mikolenko at the back. Iwobi, Gay, Garner
Alex.
starting in midfield with
Okay.
McNeil. No, Decore obviously red carded after that.
Yeah.
Horrendous punch to the face on Harry Kane.
Well,
I hope he didn't break an eyelash there.
Savage.
Honestly. It was.
who said that? Sean
I want to
Dice.
see him on Crime Watch for that, honestly.
Sean Dice said that, didn't he?
And then up front, Morpay and Gray.
What?
But again,
I can't believe he started.
No Anana in that team
No.
as well.
He's been their best player all season.
He definitely has been. On the bench, Ellis Sims,
Ellis Sims, yeah.
Connor Cody, Yerry Mina, Mason Holgate as well. But for Fulham, what a season they've been having.
Oh, brilliant,
They've
brilliant.
slipped off the last couple of weeks, but
No
Yeah,
one
but then-
expected them to be anywhere near here. They were favourites to go down. Start
Yeah.
the season.
Yeah, they were.
Everyone was
They
tipping
were.
them hands on to go down.
But it's not sorry, Alex. It's not surprised they've slipped off because Mitrovic's rush of blood has cost him. He's lucky he got 8 games because I think it should have been more. Because what he's done, because what he's done is disgraceful. You cannot do that. You cannot do that.
well, the referee did a similar UFC
And-
move to Robertson. And
No,
got away with it.
no. He is wrong, and I also think, even though whatever it is, he should be. That's not enough to just stand him down. Because if a player did that, they'd be in big trouble.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You know, so it works both ways.
Get
The players
banned for
must
months,
respect.
doesn't
Absolutely, players must respect officials, but officials must respect players as well. It's got to work
Bruno
both
got
ways.
away with it though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And why is that?
That wasn't that bad.
Why is that?
No,
What's
you,
that?
you still
No, but
put
you
both hands on the referee.
Was it both
man.
with Bruno? I think it was one hand, if I remember.
Was
Was it both?
Listen,
Into the
Aguero got
side.
away with it as well. Last season, a couple of seasons
I mean,
ago.
we got to get consistency. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's never going to happen with our referees, lad. It's just not going to happen.
I don't think you
Consistency
could
is
put
the
the
hardest thing for them.
We're also hearing,
Yeah.
by the way, and this might add some truth to Dan's reasoning as why he was late today.
Yeah.
We're hearing that the Tottenham versus Bournemouth game will kick off at 3:15 instead of 3 o'clock.
Why is that?
Traffic, I'm assuming.
Yeah, traffic,
Getting into the ground.
trains, everything, man. It's crazy.
I
out
struggled to
there.
get it myself. Like I live right by Spurs' ground. Like traffic was mad.
Yeah,
Well,
it sure was.
Well, no disrespect, Doyle. Sorry,
Doyle.
Doyle.
No, that's all right.
Loyal to Liverpool.
You pronounce it Doyle, by the way.
sorry about that, Doyle.
It's all right.
I was just gonna say, I don't think I don't think it's a good thing that you mentioned that you live near the Tottenham ground, if you know what I mean.
I mean, it probably isn't. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
If you want the address, exactly.
Come for me, buddy, please.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Big up to the comments. Someone saying here, Toby Lerone, great name. Toby Lerone, get it?
Hey, can we just pick up
Lovely,
on
lovely.
the comments here for us there? Thank you
Yeah,
so much. Yeah,
Abhinav
thank you,
says,
lads, yeah.
Joel's accents are so sexy.
Yeah, it is right. Love that. Thank you. Just have to read that one out.
Yeah. Well. Toby Lerone says, this panel is unreal. Must have cost Robbie a few quid.
You're
No
very kind.
expense spared.
Very
Robbie's got the dough.
I'm really lucky, but thank you.
Vimao says, Ty is such a geezer. Have to love that guy.
Yeah, he's
Thank
a
you
nice
very much.
man.
Love you too.
He's a good man.
Let's go back to the lineup. One more to read out. Fulham, Leno in goal, former Arsenal goalkeeper.
Burnt, yes.
Kenny Tete, Adarabioyo at the at the back.
Adarabioyo.
Yes.
Toss it.
season he's having as well.
Used to play for Man City.
Yes. Tim Ream, Anthony Robertson having a really good season.
Yes.
Reed and Palinha. What a player he is,
Yes.
by the way.
Want
Yes.
him.
I would love him at Liverpool.
Come
so
to Liverpool,
John
lads.
Henry,
Yes.
just get
Wouldn't
Jude,
mind
and
as
then
well.
if you can't get him, get him. Willian, another Arsenal player.
Yes, Willian.
Another ex-United player in Pereira, and
Yes.
an ex-Liverpool player in Harry Wilson, joined
Yes.
up front by another ex-Manchester United player, Daniel James.
Yes.
Funny
Yes.
for them.
Wow. Yes.
They've done incredibly well, haven't they, this season?
They have done well.
You've got to
Yeah.
look at the form that they had in the Championship, right? It wasn't like the other teams that come up. I think Mitrovic had something crazy, like 45
Yeah,
goals,
that's right, yeah.
and something crazy like 20 assists or something.
Yeah.
Madness, and he's never going to replicate that in the Premier League.
No.
However, it's still going to be an advantage going into it for his confidence, for his
Yeah.
mentality, everything. And you've seen it this season. I think the first result against Liverpool, that 2-2 was it? And everybody was
that
like,
changed,
"Whoa!"
yeah.
They haven't looked back since then.
Exactly
Yeah.
that, lads.
Yeah.
Exactly that, lads. So you've got to give them credit, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Liverpool this season,
Yeah,
lads.
for sure. We've just had it confirmed that it's the Cherries team bus was caught in traffic on
Yeah.
the way to London.
Ruthless,
All
mate.
right.
Honestly, it was ruthless, the traffic.
So that will be put back by 15 minutes. Let's go back into the comments. Alex, remember this? Bournemouth to beat Tottenham, Chelsea to get their first win in a while, Palace dominate again, Brentford back to winning ways, Everton going down, City drop points at the Etihad.
Hopefully.
He just almost predicted the whole weekend. We'll come back to that one for sure.
City ain't dropping
We'll
points
come back
there.
to that one.
Unfortunately, today I can't see City dropping.
I say that, but the new manager bounce is not to be underestimated.
Ask Roy Hodgson.
City at home, lads.
I know, but that's what I mean. Nobody would think that. Stranger things have happened, haven't they?
How do you feel about John Terry going to Leicester as part of Dean Smith's backroom staff as the assistant manager?
It doesn't really surprise me because I think he had a little stint at Villa, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it looks like he's trying to go into that kind of path. I think JT, he strikes me as someone with a good football mind in terms of someone that could actually go into management. So best of luck to him.
Do you think it's strange that Lampard didn't take him to Chelsea with him? I know, like, obviously John Terry hasn't been part of his staff,
He'd rather
but
take Jody Morris, wouldn't he? That's what he does, Lampard. Takes Jody Morris.
well, that's
No, I'm not-
no. I thought he was having a dig.
No, that's true,
But at
that's
the end of
true.
the day, like,
Had him at Derby as well.
you know what I mean? I think you have two legends there at Chelsea. You can come in, you know what I mean, work together, work with the players and get that feel-good factor back. I thought he could have done that, you know.
Not for me. I'm not surprised he didn't take him because I just feel like obviously JT hasn't yet had a role that's as big as Chelsea or something along those lines. I think when he was at Villa, they were in the Championship, and then he kind of, I don't know if he took a step away from football for a little bit, but I think JT looks like he's trying to take it a bit slowly.
Unlike Lampard.
A bit like unlike Lampard, he was kind of in there a little bit on, like, you know, privilege and things like that. But I don't think that would have worked anyway, personally.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it just because they're legends. Like,
Yeah.
you need some sort of, you know,
Football knowledge, lad.
football knowledge.
The football management, right? You've got to respect managers.
Yeah.
They don't just go turn up to a club and then all of a sudden know
Exactly.
what football is.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
studied it for years and years and years on end. They might not have played it, but they know what the game is, or like the back of their hand. So some of these legend players, whilst they've been coached and whatever else, it doesn't always translate. Seen it with Gerrard, didn't you? When it comes to Villa, when he goes to the elite level, the very top, he doesn't have that plan to pull out when he needs to. He's not dynamic enough to change the tactics and stuff. So
Well, not yet anyway.
not yet. Yes, not yet.
1 minute away from kickoff here, the 3 o'clock kickoffs, all up and down the country. In the National League, we had an early kickoff, Barnet 0, Wrexham 0. Guess who the man of the match was?
Oh my
Glenn
days!
Foster. Keeping a clean sheet.
What a game that was the other day, by the way.
Went behind
Yeah,
to 10
yeah.
men as well against Barnet, down at the Hive today. Let us know if you watched that one. We're also seeing Sebastian Haller. Great to see him back scoring.
Yes.
26 minutes in.
Fantastic.
Borussia Dortmund are 1-up away at Stuttgart in the Bundesliga.
What a man! What a man!
David Moyes could not get anything out of that guy.
And
Well,
then he went
it's
there.
great to see him though, isn't it?
Yeah, wonderful,
After
yeah.
what he went through. A couple
It
more
is, it is,
comments
it is,
just
absolutely.
before these games kick off. Watkins is better than Nunes, says Sebeyo.
I don't
It's
know about
nice
that.
to see Ty on when Arsenal don't play, says Tatted.
Well, funny enough, you say that. We did actually play today. Our under-18s played at Little Heath against West Ham United.
So
That's
the
why I'm
Liverpools.
wearing this.
So the Liverpool.
Oh, really?
And Liverpool's
So-
won 4-0.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Oh, congratulations.
Speaking of the under-18s, obviously, league winners. You know,
Oh yeah.
we've
West
won the
Ham?
league. Yeah, West
You
Ham under-18s.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh,
mate.
congratulations,
We won the league.
congratulations.
Well done.
And we've got
Congratulations,
Arsenal in the Youth Cup final.
That's right.
Should
Next
start watching
on
them
the
instead
25th.
now, lads.
Yeah, I know, mate.
Start
It's
watching them, lads. To get more joy out of it, lads.
At Everton, you go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also,
see you there then.
Andrew Green says Emery showing us that AGT is a rubbish manager.
What?
Do you know?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Dan McDermott, Alex and Doyle, DR Sports version of Ant and Dec. Like growth.
Only they're from Liverpool and not Newcastle.
Well, Matty Renton's on. You know, he's got to be one of Ant or Dec as well. But today it's Doyle. Why has Ty been relegated to fan cam? Says Al Nido with the super chat. So I had to read it out.
Ty's always on
Ty
fan cam, mate.
doesn't
I'm always
get
on fan cam.
relegated.
This is the top
Thank
of
you
the
very
pile
much.
list,
The fan
lads.
cam's got relegated to Ty's level.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
you're
happened.
very kind. No, I'm not relegated to fan cabs. I'm not.
Salebo says AGT is a United hater. We all know this.
Well, if he supports Liverpool, are you surprised?
Well, there you go.
I would know that, but obviously, we mean this like in football terms.
Yeah.
Of course. DNYG
kicked off, by
saying,
the way.
lol, man confused Gerrard for AGT. It's not the first time. They say it when I'm playing football. Is that Gerrard? Oh, no, it's AGT.
What a compliment.
Seriously.
They bloody don't.
That's normally you saying it. Mate.
He's got a good slate on him, I'll give him that.
Thank you. Both Emery and Arteta haven't lost in 8 Premier League games, says Mr.
True.
Momo Man. great name
Yeah,
for you.
true.
Billing to win it for Bournemouth today.
Yes.
Ceballos.
That's another player
Absolutely.
I'd like Liverpool to grab, lad. I'm not joking.
Who,
He's
Billing?
a top player.
He's a
Very
good player.
good.
And he's
Billing
been a
Billing.
top player for the
Yeah.
last like 3 years or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
And now
yeah.
it's
Dangerous.
flowering. He's
He's got it
flowering
all.
now. Yeah.
He's got it all.
Yeah.
Timo Werner has just scored for RB Leipzig at home to Augsburg.
Remember him, Semmy?
Barely.
Barely.
Villarreal lost at home today after beating Real Madrid 3-2 away last week to Real Valladolid. As
Yes.
well. It's also kicked off in all of the 3 o'clock kickoffs today. So as the goals go in live, we'll be bringing them to you
Live.
as well. Because
Also didn't mention
it's a live
bloody
show,
live.
and this is live YouTube. So make sure that you're pressing that like button, please, for us.
Ryan Mason is managing Spurs today, isn't he? Because Stellini got banned, so they've got their
That was funny
caretaker for
last
the
week.
Ryan
caretaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And you've got
Absolutely.
that's madness. That.
Arteta isn't that good. He just stole Pep's tactics, says Harry Kane
Well,
in the chat.
Well, what I say to the Harry Kane, it seems to be working, doesn't it? If
definitely.
he's
That's
stolen
fair.
these tactics at the moment, we're top. So you know what I mean?
Also, the reality is, when you are an assistant or whatever else in these clubs, your
Yeah.
whole point is getting educated.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why
true.
you
Exactly.
do that.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
you can take parts from every team that you work with and collate it and create your own structure and
Exactly.
plan. And that's what Arteta's done. Because there's no way
Yes.
he hasn't got the same Arsenal and team. And I mean, he hasn't
Very
got the same
different team,
players.
isn't it?
It's completely
No.
different players to what Pep has. So
Exactly.
he's doing his own
Well,
thing.
he's took
with
a
it.
few of them.
He's doing
innit?
what?
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
took a few of them.
Sinchenko and Jesus.
Two massive
Tell you
players
what,
for us.
some
That's why we're
manager,
there at the moment.
In terms of maybe, listen, we've seen him at PSG, we've seen him at Arsenal.
Unai.
He got let
Unai,
go
brilliant.
from those teams. But
Unfortunately.
in terms of actually setting a plan out and getting a real togetherness within the squad and
Even
being so
Villarreal.
hard to beat, you've got to give it. He won the only ever trophy that Villarreal have ever won.
Got to a semi-final against Liverpool as well
Got to a
in Champions
semi-final of
League.
the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Massive.
In
And
the
this is-
Championship,
this is
early
the thing.
goal.
He was at Villarreal still, and it just goes to show everyone who's like, "Oh, what managers are available?" It doesn't matter if they're in a club. Go and approach them. It
Yeah.
worked. Villa had the ambition, and it paid off.
Yeah, maybe you should do that.
Well, exactly. I've been screaming about it all season. We go, "Who's available? Big Sam. Who are we going to get? Big Sam."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a good manager, but I've got doubts at the top level. That is in the top six.
I think
level.
that's justified because
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the PSG and the Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah.
He wasn't even that
it's not
bad at Arsenal,
No,
to be
he wasn't at all.
For me, it's not
He
even
wasn't at all.
that. It's not even that because obviously history's history and you can kind of change, you can evolve and stuff. But I think it's just more so the approach. I think.
I agree. massively agree.
Yeah, I don't think the approach suits
Top clubs.
the top clubs.
I agree.
And I feel like a lot of it would create like disgruntlement amongst fans in terms of wanting to be entertained and actually wanting to go for it in terms of like when you're a top six club you're better than the majority of the league, right? So like fans want to see you really be on the front foot and stuff. I'm not sure that's Emery's style, and we see managers like Conte, for example, Mourinho, as top as they are, as brilliant as they once were, and obviously in history will be. In recent times, it didn't quite work out for them at top clubs, did it? So
I think personal ability comes into being successful at top clubs. And Unai, great manager, great tactics, but maybe his personality in that side of things doesn't help him when it comes to these. If you're going to nurture somebody and you're at a top club, you also have to be ruthless, because if they don't score, if they don't do the job that you've told them to do, you have to sub them and you have to take them off the pitch.
Yeah.
Whereas for an Aston Villa or all these other teams, not disrespecting you guys, you'd have a little bit more leeway to nurture these players. You don't have to be so ruthless with them.
Okay, well, listen, the first few games have kicked off now in the Premier League, but in case you didn't know, on this exact day and time, on a sunny spring afternoon in 1989 at 3:06, a crush developed at the Hillsborough Stadium in Sheffield, resulting in the horrific death of 97 Liverpool fans attending the club's FA Cup semi-final against Nottingham Forest. It remains the UK's worst ever sporting disaster. What followed was an unjust tirade of misinformation, lies and cover-ups by the Sun's newspaper, Kelvin Mackenzie, and the government and the Yorkshire Police. The families of the fans, young and old, that we lost on that day haven't ever been fully served justice, even though the Taylor report confirmed what we knew all along. It happened due to a failure of police control. Even though it's been proven that Liverpool fans did no wrong, some opposition fans to this day still sadly sing horrific chants about the tragedy. This has to stop now, and it is never okay for any team to mock any other team's tragedies in any way. Going to a football game and never coming back should never happen. To the people we lost, we will never stop telling the truth of what happened on that day. Never forgotten, always remembered. Justice to the 97.
Justice to the 97.
34 years ago today.
Awful. That made me teary. That did. That was awful.
Oh, it was so sad. It's really,
They're
really
just
sad.
playing
Very,
boxing
very
out
sad.
again.
Okay.
Oh, we're off.
Awful, that.
Yeah.
It's everything that led on afterwards as well, lad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was still the worst thing that could ever happen. And of course, there's other tragedies that have happened. You look
Absolutely.
at Bradford, you look at
Yes.
Manchester United. It's not okay for any teams to
Never,
mock any
ever.
of these
Never,
tragedies at any point, because
Never,
as we
ever.
mentioned at the start, you should never, ever, ever go to a football match and never come home.
That's
so
right.
as already said, justice to the 97.
Absolutely.
Each and every
Always.
time. And thanks to you for everyone who's acknowledged that in the chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Ty, what are you doing for St. Totteringham's Day? The super chat comes in from Gail Sweete.
Thinking about hopefully trying to carry on winning, because it's a big thing for Tottenham fans, but it's not really a big thing for us because we like to think we've got more ambition than that.
But you did invent the term St.
Yeah,
Totteringham's Day, so it must be a big thing.
of course not. But it's not a big thing anymore. It was then.
But
It's
you
not-
haven't done it. You haven't finished above them in a long time.
No, we haven't, and they've won nothing.
Yeah, so that's
that
what I
doesn't
mean,
mean
like-
like I said, it doesn't mean anything.
The first time in years, you ain't gonna feel a certain okay, we finally finished above Tottenham.
No,
again.
but like I said, I don't care about that because when Tottenham fans try to say, I saw one of them in the street when I was on my way here one time. He said, we've ended up 6 years overdue. What have you won? Nothing. So that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. That is their ambition. The thing is, where they are now, if they were ahead of us, they wouldn't be moaning. But the fact that we're ahead of them now, suddenly it's problems. So it doesn't mean anything. We made it, fair enough, tongue-in-cheek, but we've got bigger ambitions. That's why Tottenham will always be where they are, because they're happy about finishing above us. Whereas if we finish above them and win nothing, then it's a disappointing season for me, whether we finish ahead of them or
So
not.
you're not gonna gloat over Tottenham if you don't win anything and finish above them?
No, what's there to gloat about? That's the thing. What's there to gloat about? We'll always be better than Tottenham, so there's nothing to gloat about. They want to gloat. When they do what we've done, then gloat. That's what I mean. The thing is, I hate what you're saying, but I think it's interesting what you say. It leads me on to another subject that sometimes...
Sorry, I just every time you talk about Tottenham, expect 15 minutes to just chill, lad, because Ty don't like Tottenham. I don't know if you know, but he doesn't like Tottenham.
It's really deep. It's really deep.
I don't like them in football terms, but I think sometimes people are in football more to gloat and win. If we win, I'm happy. I don't have to laugh at Tottenham. They get laughed at by everyone else. So why do I have to laugh at them? But that's what for us to do that. It's like dragging ourselves down to their level. I saw one of them in the streets and we've ended up higher than you for more than 6 years. They didn't win anything.
A lot of people saying Ty spitting facts right now.
No,
in the
it's
chat.
true.
Thank
It's
you,
very
thank
true,
you.
though.
Like,
Yes, it very much
Thank
is.
you very much.
Early
Thank you,
goal
thank
in
you.
the Championship, Watford 1-0 up at home to Bristol City. Harry Cornick with the own goal.
Harry
and in League
Cornick.
1, Ipswich 1, Charlton 0. That
Wow,
used to
look.
be a Premier League game
Yes, it
25
did,
years
it
ago.
did.
Chance for Brighton. And it's Evan... Oh, no, it's my boy, Alexis McAllister.
Alexis McAllister.
Oh, I wanna
Another
see it
name linked with
one day.
Liverpool.
Oh, do you know what? I
Oh,
watched,
Matoma.
I know I shouldn't watch these comps, right, and get sucked in too much, right?
But
He is some player, let me tell you that.
I look at this man because he knows he's
Honestly.
coming Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's like, let me big him up now, lad.
No. Listen, I saw him at the World Cup of Argentina.
No, very good.
He didn't look like he shouldn't have been in that team
Very good.
whatsoever.
Yeah,
Him
yeah.
next to Messi, I'm not comparing him to Messi for 1 minute. He did not look out of place whatsoever.
No, he didn't.
Very,
Didn't.
very, very
Early.
clever
Didn't.
player. I'm a big fan.
And the problem for Brighton will be...
Oh, there's a goal! It's off the board!
Do you know what?
I thought it was in. It's Evan Ferguson who strikes the crossbar from outside the box, and Chelsea
could be
here.
2-0 up.
They're gonna get
Well under the cosh. Big
they're
time.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Let's get into one of our first big topics
Yeah.
of the day, ladies and gents. Who is the best Premier League backup striker of all time? Right, we're going to
Wow.
I've got one
discuss
immediately.
this. Who is the best backup Premier League striker? Doyle, who
It's
have you got?
Divock Origi. He
Yeah.
he scored
I knew you were
every
gonna
single
bring it. Great
clutch
shout.
goal that you could possibly
Great
want.
shout.
He won us the league.
Great shout.
He scored a goal in a Champions League final. I know we're talking about
2
Premier
against
League,
Barcelona
but he
as well
is
in the
the
Champions League.
best backup clutch striker that you will have in this Premier League era, without a doubt.
Surely, no. Surely it has to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Surely.
No.
Super sub back in the day, the
with
babyface
the
killer.
numbers that he put out, treble winner with his goal. Come on.
He's
No,
up there.
Divock
He's up there.
Origi.
We don't have to decide who's the best right now. This is a debate period. Ty's thinking,
Interesting.
Shemmy's thinking as well.
I'm trying to think of...
I'm going to chuck in backup striker. So this isn't someone that plays in a 2, is it? Because
No, it's a backup.
Is
This is-
Emil Heskey isn't a great
If the
backup
first
striker to
striker
Owen.
gets injured, he'll start.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Do you know, back in the day, Kalu for Drogba. He was quite good.
He was young, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backup
I was
there
gonna
for a few
say,
years.
I was gonna say Anelka maybe at Chelsea, but Anelka did
not
start
a
quite a lot.
backup
He's not really a
man.
backup,
No,
is he?
backup.
Yeah, he's not.
He was a mercenary
on
that was
stage.
a
Yeah, no,
start.
and he played wide as well.
Yeah.
So
That man,
I wouldn't
yeah.
say he was a backup.
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think.
I mean,
trying to get one of our players
Giroud
in.
at one
Giroud
point,
maybe,
for Arsenal,
yeah.
when he
Yeah.
would come off the bench, and
A
even
bit,
at
yeah.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
he, as a backup
that's a
striker,
good shout.
was-
Peter
Yeah.
Crouch.
Peter
As a
Crouch,
backup.
yeah,
Yes.
Peter
Last
Crouch,
15 minutes.
belting him.
Scored the most headers in Premier League history.
Me heart just won't let me pick anyone else other than Divock, lad. The amount of joy that boy gave me, lad, was unreal.
Yeah, no, amazing.
But
Time
objectively,
after time after time after time
Yeah.
after time after time, he would just deliver every single one.
Newcastle away, last minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3-2 on his
yeah,
head,
yeah.
lads.
Just
Everton,
wow,
5 minutes.
that's it.
Everton.
Wolves last season.
What a shout
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, Wolves last
Everton,
season,
yeah.
Wolves last
Yeah.
season.
Like, the kid just done it. He got the job done, lads.
Yeah, scored a few derby goals.
Couldn't
and
believe how good he was
against, Borussia Dortment back in the day as
Yeah.
well. In the
He was
UEFA
famous
Cup.
for it, lad. He's literally
He was.
famous for playing that role.
Well,
Yeah,
and he
early
scored at
yellow card, by the way, for Stuttgart after 39 minutes there. Backup
Constantino.
strikers. Let's get into
Kalu's a good shout though, because
the
in terms of
comments.
numbers coming off the bench, he scored a lot.
Chicharito.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say
Great
Hernandez.
shout
Yeah,
by
Hernandez,
Max
yeah.
Collectibles in the comments. Chicharito, Javier Hernandez. A lot of you guys gone for that. Edin Dzeko.
Yes.
Dale Wilson. Big
Dzeko.
shout.
Dzeko.
Sylvan Wiltor.
Yes.
That's a great
One of our
shout.
invincibles. Yep.
Fantastic shout.
Yeah, scored the winner. Oh,
that is a good shout,
scored the
that.
winner.
I think I'm going with a Dzeko shout, you know.
Old Trafford.
Because
Dzeko
when I think back
is
to
up there, mate.
that 13-14 season, Aguero missed a lot of games.
Yakubu.
And Dzeko scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, he did.
And his role in them winning the title that season
he was-
under
yeah,
Pellegrini
He was there, lad, yeah.
was underrated.
Oh, we've got a goal.
Early goal.
It's 1-0
at
Chelsea.
Stamford Bridge, and it is against the run of play, you could
How
say.
they done
Absolutely
that?
against the run of play.
I mean, we don't
Chelsea
know
score.
because the game just came on. So
Yeah, I
we
know,
don't
I know.
actually know.
But still,
VAR.
Who scored? Conor Gallagher.
1-0 to
Conor
Chelsea.
Gallagher, after 30 minutes, heavily linked with the move to Liverpool.
Again.
At the minute,
Have him.
Semmy.
Nah.
Heavily linked.
We-
No, he is.
Yeah, have him.
Oh,
Don't like him, no? Don't like him?
Allegedly. Have him? What?
They've just
Are
got
you
too
sure?
many players.
don't know
They
how we
can't
can play
accommodate.
Liverpool.
Yes, we have so many players that at this point, and also, like, not only do we have so many players, but I personally am not a massive Gallagher
But you'd
fan.
be happy to sell him to Liverpool, though.
Yeah, I'm happy to let
Mason
go.
Mount.
Yeah.
He looks like he fits.
Not Mount. I like Mount, so I'd rather not sell Mount to Liverpool. But Gallagher, I can live with personally.
Gallagher
Okay.
looks like he fits the Chelsea team in the sense of his appearance. He looks like a Chelsea player. I can't explain what I mean by that,
Yeah.
but he just does, lad.
Not for me.
Well, the thing is,
I think it's called being a Tory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it is, but
well, I'm going to say congratulations to Doyle because Doyle has won the competition already. This is amazing. He's even been quicker than me because he's actually mentioned time after time by the legend that is Cyndi Lauper. So well done, Doyle.
Time after time. Yeah, great song. We were actually doing a bit of a 80s music quiz before the show happened.
and Ty is
today, and
unmatched
Ty
on it.
absolutely
Honestly,
smashed it,
he's
mate.
insane.
I would give
He's
Ty a run
unbelievable.
for his
Let's have a look
money,
at
I
the
think.
Chelsea goal. Conor Gallagher. Oh my goodness me! How you
what
can
a
even
finish.
call that a goal from Conor Gallagher? I'll never understand.
Mudryk looks bright though.
This has taken the wickedest, biggest deflection you could ever wish to see, people.
Mudryk
Okay.
looks bright.
Wicked and bad. Yeah, it was.
Wicked and bad.
He looks bright.
Oh, it's come off
man.
dunk. Oh, what a shame.
So no, we need Brighton to win so they can get top 4 over Spurs because I think Man United are in danger with their injuries of that top 4
Yeah.
position
I
now.
think United's position is a bit
That would be
precarious
nice.
now. Yeah.
Newcastle
Brighton got a
shaky.
top 4, that'd be incredible.
I think Spurs, as much of a mess out, could shithouse it. So we need a good run from Brighton. So hopefully they come back.
As long
Hopefully they come back,
as Spurs have Harry Kane, there's always an opportunity for them to get top 4 because he's just that good, mate.
Mudryk here with the lay-in to Gallagher goes for goal, and it's a horrible deflection.
It's not even on.
Does that count
I
as an
don't even know
assist?
if you can give that as his goal, maybe.
Does that count as an assist?
I think
I know, yeah.
Keeper
for
should
Mudryk.
save that as well.
No,
Yeah, for Mudryk, yeah.
He was very close to it there.
Is it? Was it
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
on
he's
target?
got a super chat here, right? And this is actually a great question. Two bands
Yeah,
that I
great shout.
really love. Also, rest in peace to what's his name, Dove.
Yeah.
Ty, question for you, lad.
Yeah.
A Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul, two
It's
legends.
a great
Oh
shout. This one.
my gosh.
By the way, early goal in the Championship, just while Ty is having a think. Millwall
heavy,
1-0
that,
up
innit?
at home to Preston. Ipswich now 2-0 up after 40
my
minutes at home
gosh.
to Charlton. And it's still 0-0 everywhere else. Don't forget, the Tottenham game should be kicking off any second now, and that was due to the Bournemouth team bus encountering traffic on the way through to North London.
That's a great question. I don't know because you look at Tribe Called Quest, they had Can I Kick It, which is originally
Electric relaxation.
by Lou Wilder, isn't it? They took that from that, and but De La Soul had Me, Myself, and I.
Yeah.
You know, so
Big
it's
banger.
in. Well, you know what? I'm probably going to go for De La Soul. And it's only because I met the legend that is Plug One in West End once. So that's the only reason why. But it's very, very close because Tribe Called Quest had Panilla Applebaum. You got to put me on, and they used Y from Carly Simon.
Last my wallet
I was
in
listening
El
to their latest
Secando.
album yesterday, actually, Tribe Called Quest. They've
Tribe
got a
Called
song
Quest.
called Wall of Sound, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so good.
Legend,
Very good song.
but they're absolute legends.
The way I see it, is Tribe Called Quest are the cool guys. They are suave, lad. They are the guys you want to be, and De La Soul have fun with it, lad. They're like,
Yes, they did,
the
they
nice
did,
guys,
they
lad,
did.
that have a little bit of a laugh and that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the way
Yeah,
I
that's
see
right.
it.
Going back to the football though, because it is a football show at the end of the day. Saturday football show. Make sure you're liking and subscribing
Thanks for
if you
the
haven't
super
already. RB Leipzig now 3-1 up at half-time at home to Augsburg.
Yeah, Werner scored another one.
And Werner
Werner
scored
again.
again. Let's go back into the super backup striker chat. We've got some more here for you, lads. I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah.
Teddy Sheringham says.
Oh yeah, Teddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shout.
Teddy
Teddy
Berbatov.
Sheringham, man.
Berbatov,
I think he was not a backup. He's too good to be a backup.
Was Tevez a backup at United?
Who else?
This is the thing, because they had Rooney, Tevez and Berbatov.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo at one point.
What about Jermaine Defoe at certain points in his career?
Heavily underrated.
I don't think Defoe was ever a backup.
When he was at
What a
Rangers
striker
or when
he
he was
was,
at...
by the way.
He brought the record
And that
for
was
him.
prolific
like,
goal scorer.
On loan.
The end of his
I'm so
contract
happy as
thing,
well
yeah.
that he won a league with Gerrard at Rangers.
So mate,
as
that was
well.
glorious.
That was brilliant.
And what a player.
Yeah,
and he scored
yeah.
some bangers that season as well, let's
He
be
did,
fair.
mate.
He always
He
scored
definitely
belter goals in.
He did.
He did, for sure. Great comments coming in. Keep them coming. Second, strikers, Demba Ba. We've got Gerard
thank you.
Moreno from Sardine.
Was he back?
I don't think Bar was
You
ever
don't
a
need to
backup
mention that
either.
name, no, for sure. Demba Ba.
Haunts me
After
that
what he
name,
did
lad.
at
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Let's keep
Canu?
sending them in. I
Does
don't know if we've got any more. Leandro
Canu, yes.
Ulloa. That was a good shout in Leicester's title-winning season.
Yes,
Back
he
up
scored a
to
lot of
Vardy.
goals. Yeah.
You know what?
Came
We've
up
got
with
a
some
good
really
one here as
important
well.
goals.
Someone's just popped up and said Alvarez will be the next one. It could be, you know. That's
He
a
already
good
is.
shout. Yeah,
What about Gabriel Jesus from Man City? Is it too early to say that?
No,
I think
no,
that's
I
a good
don't
shout.
think it
his
is.
time at Man
At Man
City.
City, yeah.
Good shout, yeah. Okay, what about Okazaki? Leicester.
Sensei. Okazaki? Not too bad.
Pape Cisse,
For
yes.
Leicester?
Yeah, Okazaki.
Okazaki, lad, that was a shout as well, you know.
I think Okazaki had more of a role in the title winning team than Ulloa.
He did.
But he didn't
Yeah.
mean to, though. It's because he kept on scoring goals
Yeah, it
after
was
goals
mad.
after goals.
I think he played more than Ulloa as well,
Did he?
from what I remember.
Possibly,
I'm pretty sure.
That team was
I might have to check that. I might be
81
wrong.
points they won
Might
that
check
league with.
Crucial goals.
Yeah, there's a few. I can't get past Divock Origi. That's always going to be my number one backup.
Yeah, it's
player.
great.
Yeah, no, Origi's a great shout.
A
He's a great
starter
shout,
in
yeah.
terms
He wasn't.
of being ahead of
Never,
Firmino
ever,
and
never.
Mane and Salah.
But he came up
But
with the
he
goals all
did
the
his
time.
job.
He did.
Gary Lineker and Patrick Kluivert, says Yassir. Maybe they were both not backup strikers. Eddie could be the next one.
What about
says
Jota? Would you
AJ.
count Jota as a backup?
No.
He come in as a backup though.
He did,
So
yeah.
interchangeable though.
Plays wide
Our
as
guys.
well.
That
Yeah.
You
We
wouldn't
have
be
done it.
surprised if, Gakpo, Jota and Salah started as opposed to Nunez and Diaz. It's just they
Yeah.
rotate so much.
They're all
So
very dynamic.
whereas these guys, it was more like number 9, number 10, early 2000s.
Yeah.
You've got your starters and you've got your bench
backup,
players that
yeah,
can
yeah.
come in and make an impact. Chicharito, Solskjaer and Kanu says Ibukun, Sami Nasri,
Wanko,
not
yeah.
a striker. Bentner
Sammy
for
wasn't a
Arsenal.
striker.
Bentner.
Lord Bentner.
Nicholas.
Shamak.
Well, he was for
Eduardo?
about time. I don't think Eduardo was a backup, but he was absolutely brilliant. He was absolutely, and he's probably going. You said we're going to go on to careers that were finished. He's probably one of the ones that unfortunately got his career finished.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
and we do
Very
have a big
sad.
section on that
Yeah,
later.
very, very sad. That.
Looks like there
Very
was
sad.
a late red card in the Barnet Wrexham game for one of the managers, a bit of handbags there after full time, which I'm sure we'll see more about.
yeah,
Wrexham's
absolutely.
manager's got a lot to say, lad. I love him.
Yeah,
I really
he
do.
really does. Odemwingie, Badi Boyan, Balogun too, if he stays at Arsenal
Nah,
next
I'm
season.
sorry, right? I'm sorry.
Here's a great
Hopefully.
one. Adam Lafondra. Do you
Oh
remember
yeah,
him? for
Reading. Yes.
Used to come on and bag whenever he,
Yes, I
he
remember.
came
Yeah,
off the
yeah,
bench.
yeah.
Kevin Campbell, Podolski.
Campbell for Sunderland.
Oh, Lucas.
Nah, he was a starter.
I don't know if they were
So
backup.
just on the Lafondra one, I think him
Yeah.
and Kalu, because you mentioned Kalu before, them two are up there in like the top 2 or 3 in terms of the amount of goals coming off a bench.
Wow.
I think it's like 12 or something like that.
Yeah,
Coming off
very
bench,
good.
yeah.
I think
If
Origi
I
was
remember
pushing
correctly.
that number before he left, maybe like 9 or 10 or something like that.
Wow.
Mandzukic, Says Sensei.
Yes, Mario Mandzukic. Yeah.
Who was he back up for?
Higuain again,
Atletico,
more
was
of a
it?
main man up front. But I think Dzeko might be.
I think Dzeko
one of
for
the
me.
best shouts.
Dzeko's
For
good.
me, Dzeko, yeah.
Good.
But then only at City, because everywhere else he's been the main man. though.
That's the point. For me, that's why Divock Origi is the number one.
I think it is because he's now backup striker to Zlatan.
He is the epitome of.
Oh no, but he's
role.
old now though, isn't he?
Who?
Dzeko.
Who?
Dzeko. Oh yeah, he is.
I'm saying Origi is.
Oh, sorry.
Origi's playing backup striker.
I think
still.
he's the ultimate backup striker, I really do, lad. And not only did he bag when he come on, the importance of the goals that he scored were insane.
Cannot be understated. That
It's incredible.
Lewis Zaha. That's a
Louis
good shout.
Zaha, I remember
At
him.
United. Henrik Larsson when he went to United, definitely not at Celtic though. Darren Bent, MKH.
Oh, we've got another goal. We've got another goal. It is.
But who's it gone to, Doyle?
Fulham 1-0 away at Everton,
Everton.
and
Come on,
it's Mr.
Fulham.
Harrison Reed with a goal.
Harrison Reed gets it. And Fulham
Everton.
are 1-0 up away at the Goodison Park Stadium.
Handball shout as well.
Everton.
That's come
That's
on.
got to be a penalty, no?
Brighton.
Handball shout at Chelsea, but no.
Oh my
Players
God.
resumed.
I tell you what, Brighton are
Corruption.
some team. You know, I know they're
They
losing
are.
right now, but wow,
No,
what,
Zerbi's done a great job.
what a team these
They're
are. lads.
dominating.
Solid.
They're on top.
Games.
Yeah, they're on top.
Brilliant.
Oh,
They're
mate.
actually on top.
Should have got a handball penalty there for him.
Yep. Loic Remy.
Oh my
Sorry.
God, I
Yeah.
wanted that
yes.
guy for so many years.
I
Oh,
think
no,
he was
no,
linked
yeah.
to us a few times as well.
He was linked
He
with
was
us as
boss
well.
on Ultimate Team for a little bit.
Javier Saviola.
Saviola, yeah.
I remember him, yeah, I remember
backing
him, yeah.
up Ronaldinho and the guys at Bayern. Barca. David Fairclough, original super sub. Says
David
Buffalo.
Fairclough. Yeah, remember him. Yeah.
Would
Met-
you say
met him
what
a
about this
couple of
one?
times, man.
This is a mad one. Thomas Muller. Because he's never really been a starting striker. He's always played a role
His
behind
goal
somebody.
scoring record is incredible.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
insane,
brilliant,
lad.
yeah.
He's one of the most underrated players ever.
Yeah.
He
He's
really
insane.
is.
He reads the game so well.
Cinema Pongo.
Oh, remember him, lad, for Liverpool?
Oh, Florence Cinema Pongo.
Florence.
Hey, we're talking about Cinema Pongo. What about Neil Mellor? Remember him, lad?
Yes, Neil Mellor, yes.
That
Great
goal against Arsenal.
yeah. What a strike that was, by the way.
Kidding
Yeah.
Right, let's see what other ones we've got in the chat here. Malouda, more of a midfielder.
Winger, isn't he? Yeah.
Florent Malouda,
Asamoah Gyan, Andy Carroll. Again, good options to bring off the bench for sure.
Here's another one.
Go on.
Balotelli. Just
Balotelli.
said in the chat
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But what about David Ngog?
Oh,
David
yeah,
Ngog.
Ngog.
All right, well, let's
We need
round
to
it
pick
off
a-
with
yeah,
one
we do.
each,
We need
right?
to-
Because
we
we
need-
could be here all day. I'm going
Yeah.
to go with, you're going for Rigi,
Definitely
obviously.
Divock
Kalou?
Origi.
I'm going with Dzeko.
Dzeko?
Yeah, I'm going with Dzeko.
There's no West Ham ones because all of our first choices have been shit for the most part. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Okay.
I'm going to have to stick with Sylvan. I would have gone for Wanku Kanu, but Sylvan scored the winner at Old Trafford, so that makes him a legend.
I mean, obviously, I should
And
say
with
Divock Origi, but it'd be boring if I did that, I think. It'd be too
wouldn't. It'd be
predictable.
right. That's
It would
what
be
it would
right, but so that is one, but here's another one. Chicharito.
Yeah, okay, fair play.
Fair enough.
for
Man,
me.
ex-Manchester United. That's very magnanimous of you.
It is, actually. Wow.
Yeah, well, he was at West Ham as well, so you can take the.
That's
West Ham.
true,
He
that's
was.
true.
He absolutely was, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
it was, yeah.
Massive game next week for Chelsea. We're watching them 1-0 up right now. 2-0 down from the first leg, Semmy.
Yeah.
Is it possible in any way to turn this one around at all? Is there any hope coming back to Stamford Bridge, considering Real Madrid just don't lose knockout games in the Champions League? Ever?
Never.
I
Especially
mean,
against
we beat
Liverpool.
them twice.
Yeah,
But-
but you didn't go through, did you?
No, yeah, we did the first time. We won the Champions League.
No, I'm talking about in the last, recent times. though,
Yeah,
not-
that was 2 years ago. Under Tuchel, we won it.
Fair play.
Okay, well, that
Yeah,
Fair
yeah,
play
yeah.
to Chelsea
But
for doing
in terms of is there hope? I mean, yeah, 2-0 is not for me. 2-0 is a scoreline. It's never over. But so from that perspective, of course, there's hope, and obviously going back to your home ground with the crowd and stuff like that, there's always hope. But from like an actual footballing logical perspective, we just don't score. We don't score enough goals, and we don't ever look like we are going to score. In the games that I've watched for the large part of the season, and in the Bernabeu literally a couple of days ago, we never looked like we're going to threaten them, and whether that's down to like the approach or down to like the tactics or whatever, just generally no matter who we put on the pitch or kind of what formation we play, there's just something wrong in terms of us actually looking potent and looking like we're going to hurt teams. So because we hardly look like we're going to hurt teams, I'm a bit on the. I'm leaning towards us kind of going out, but you never know. 2-0, it's not over at 2-0.
2-0 is
An early goal then there.
Yeah,
for
2-0
sure.
is one of the most dangerous scorelines you can possibly have as a football team because it gives you a massive false sense of security. However, Real Madrid are Real Madrid, and they are the best team in the world at cup competitions, and that is it. They just are. And even where if you score 2 goals, I can still see them scoring 1
after
or 2
20 minutes.
themselves.
Yeah.
That's how good they are.
Yeah,
they are. I've got nightmares about
again.
these. Oh, we got
Another
another goal.
goal.
Wolves 1-0. Oh, an old Chelsea player as well. Who is it, Gilly?
It's Diego Costa, his first goal back in the Premier League in the gold kit of Wolves. He scores at home against Brentford.
That's his first Wolves goal.
back.
Yeah.
All the time he's been at Wolves.
Yeah.
Well, he's only been there since January.
And he's also
And he
not.
got sent off as well.
Not this January.
Yeah.
They've had him since before then.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's been there longer than January. They signed him last year.
Yeah. He played against us last season.
But you got
Last season?
Yes.
He got suspended though,
Yeah, he
didn't
He
he?
played against Liverpool in the last game of the season last year.
Okay, I can't remember that.
Yeah.
Mad.
Unbelievable.
Anyway.
Well, there you go.
But is that his first goal?
I'm pretty sure.
He got suspended, didn't he?
Diego Costa.
What a nightmare he was.
Wolves
And that's, do
goals.
you know what, lad? We were talking, when you're talking about Chelsea, that's the type of player
0
you miss
goals,
at
yeah.
Costa, at Drogba. Someone that you've got to run that front
Absolutely.
line at Chelsea, and you have to be in charge of it. It has to be yours.
Yeah.
And you don't have that right now. João
Yeah.
Felix is a good little player. He is, no doubt. But he's not that leader at the top of the pitch.
Yeah.
Diego Costa was a monster, lad.
I agree.
So was Drogba. You
Yeah.
couldn't get near them.
Yeah, that is his first
I
goal
agree.
for Wolves. We've just confirmed after 18 games.
Wow.
It's his first goal.
Could be a very important one for them, though.
Todd Cantwell, remember him for Norwich?
Yes.
He just scored at home for Rangers against St Mirren after 26 minutes, fresh from scoring a couple of weeks ago as well. Let's see the Costa goal now. Very lucky. It rebounds off the defender onto his knee and goes in, but he doesn't care. The ball's in the back of the net and he's wheeling away celebrating, Doyle.
Damn right, yeah. I think it's an important goal for Wolves right now. They're at the bottom of the table. Brentford are fighting for top 4, top 6. So they've got a lot to play for, Wolves. And I think going into this last part of the season, you're going to see a lot of results like this where you think, Brentford are just going to run away with this. But
Yeah.
they're fighting for their lives, aren't they? It really, really
They
makes
are.
a difference. Mentality-wise, they need to give all on the pitch. And it shows now. He scored his first goal in 18. He wants this today, obviously.
Yeah, he's
Love him.
finally got his
He's
goal.
going mad here as well. He loves it.
Honestly, I love him. He's a proper bastard.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
someone that we would love at what type of player.
Yeah,
we'd love at West
I
Ham.
think going back to what you said as well, like he was a real pest. Like he never let defenders rest at all. And he was someone that led the press as well. When opposition teams had the ball at the back, he was a real workhorse, and he never let them ever have any peace on the ball.
And like quality as well.
Yeah, and he had quality as well. Yeah, just an all-round bully. He was strong. He could finish, good in the air. Man, just a really good all-round striker. And again, he had that little mental edge to him as well, whereby he liked to get into opposition's head as well.
That Arsenal game.
Yeah.
He's a nutter, lad.
Who was it he got sent off?
I think it was
Gabriel.
Was it Gabriel? Yeah, I think it was Gabriel.
And then Santi as well. Yeah, because he used to get away with so much cheating. That's what it is.
So lovely. The 2 goals that have been in the Premier League today have been very questionable, I tell you that, okay? Wow. Quality is not there on them goals.
Oh, we haven't seen the Fulham one though.
We've got another goal. No.
No, we haven't seen the Fulham goal. You're right.
Yeah.
Very true. In the Championship, Birmingham 1-0 up away at Sinnerton.
Yeah,
This one.
13 minutes in. Nice start for Tottenham.
Yep.
We have to wait.
Getting back amongst the goals for Tottenham. Great time to start scoring them, considering that Newcastle got thumped today. So Tottenham will be looking to capitalise on that.
Yeah.
14 minutes.
Early strike there from Son. And we are around about 30 minutes into the game at Chelsea.
Nice.
And it's still 0-0 at Southampton at home to Crystal Palace. Wolves 1, Brentford 0, as we know. Everton 0, Fulham 1. Tottenham are now leading Bournemouth 1-0. As well. As we know, massive game at the London Stadium tomorrow. West Ham versus Arsenal. Before we dive into that one and have a look at it before half time, let's watch Box to Box from AFTV yesterday with Turkish and this man Dan.
It's going to be interesting how you cope with the pressure in this run, because now it's equally in Man City's hands as it is in your hands. Like if Man City win all their games, they win the league because they're playing you. They've got to play you. If you win all your games, you win the league. So like you said, every single game is crucial. And what went wrong for Arsenal last season was because you had top 4 in your hands, right?
Yeah.
And it came back to bite you. It was the excuse of the young squad crumbling under the pressure or not being able to deal with that pressure. Injuries, yeah. Now we're in this run-in. Can you, because it's these type of games, and that was the same with last season, it's these type of games where Arsenal should be expected to win, which were stumbling blocks. So I'm not confident, but I think there's a small chance we could maybe get a draw. potentially. That's what I hold out hope for. I've hated Moyes going into games, setting up for a draw all season. I'd fully endorse it for this game. Because I think that's been your one sort of almost tricky area. You've overcome it for the most part, but when teams set up defensively, sort of low block style, it's caused a lot of frustration for you.
Can't even wear that. Well, there you go. Dan and Turkish on Box to Box yesterday on AFTV. Let's go with the home team first. You were after a draw. You were saying that's the best result. I also heard you say you've hated Moyes going into these games. A best result for you is a draw, is it?
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like, the biggest problem a lot of West Hams have had is him playing for a draw. You know, rather than having ambition and going for it. We saw Ghent the other night. You know, we played for a draw, we got a draw, when really we need to be winning these knockout competitions, because now we bring it back to our ground. Yeah, okay, you'd say we're favourites at home, but it's now a knockout game. You know, no second chances.
Yeah.
But this game, where we're going into it, look, if we don't get anything, that's not one of the games we earmarked as winnable 3-pointer, right? So if we can get 1 point out of this, it's huge in the run-in that we have. And the pressure is massively on Arsenal. Can't afford to drop a single point. And we could potentially use that to our advantage. Frustrate them. Finally use some of the dark arts, right? Because I've seen so many other teams, right? Time waste. You know, cheating. Diving.
You know, cheating.
All of these things. Yeah. I see. We don't do these things. This is the time to do it. This is the time to do it. Arsenal do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, you also said in there that you know, you're looking forward and maybe asking for a new manager at some point. But you mentioned the shithousery, if you want to call it that, as well. If West Ham do come away with this one, and we'll ask Ty the same question after. Is that mentally a massive block there for Arsenal to because they would be kind of conceding the momentum to City if that did happen. So can West Ham ruin the party, basically?
I think we can, because our game in hand is at the Etihad.
Wow.
So we could have a massive part to play, in this title race.
Wow.
So it's huge, and our away form is terrible. So the part we have to play would probably be costing. That's Arsenal. That's the because our home form is where we're stronger. So us getting a point, for us huge, for them disaster, absolute disaster. Because this on paper is one of the most winnable games they've got in their running.
It is.
I'd say.
It is.
Like, they have to get 3 points, and a point, especially after the way they came away from Anfield, not winning that game.
Yeah, we didn't lose though.
And then you didn't lose.
Exactly. We got battered and we didn't lose. So no mind. Listen. Oh, sorry. So you
Go on. Yeah.
Well, listen.
You got battered for half of it. You didn't get battered the whole game.
It doesn't matter. The score was 2-2.
In the Premier League, we've seen an equaliser for Everton.
Who have we got? Who's the goal scorer?
Scored at home to Fulham. Let's get a confirmation on the goal scorer.
Do you know what?
Alex.
Everton need to pull themselves out of this, because if they shoot themselves in the foot at their home games, they're gonna
they're going to be in real trouble, aren't they?
They've got potentially the hardest running of any relegation battling team.
I can't imagine them going down, lad.
I'd love to.
neither can I.
I would
in their new stadium.
Dwight McNeil.
Yes. Dwight McNeil, former
with the
Burnley.
goal.
I'm a Scouser, lad. I'm a Scouser through and through. I love Liverpool very much, and I don't like Everton. They're not my mates or nothing.
They hate Liverpool.
They might hate
fans,
us, but I
so.
don't care. It's like one of your little brother that's a little bit annoyed with you. You don't really care, like, 'cause he's still your little brother. So I don't want them to get knocked down into the Champions League, into the Championship. I don't want that. I know he does. I don't. I like to see Scousers thriving regardless of what team they support.
I do.
As long as they're not thriving more than us, that's all that matters.
You should have heard some of the chants they were singing, mate. Trust me.
Which obviously nobody can condone. Nobody can
get them down, I say. Anyway, it's 1-1 at Goodison Park. Let's go back on to West Ham versus Arsenal. We'll come across the tie now. Games like these, West Ham away, we heard Dan saying these are games that Arsenal should be winning. Are you worried at all about the pressure on this game, considering...
Pressure? What pressure?
Well, considering you didn't win the last...
Come on, Ty, lad.
Let me finish the question.
This is scary, bro. You got to admit, it's scary.
It's scary for us.
Oh, okay.
Look at this. Every game now, not just this one, but especially this one, on the back of a game where you haven't picked up 3 points, where you normally do this season. If things don't go well tomorrow, at which point do you start getting more worried because let's not forget, City play tonight at 5:30. If they win, the pressure's back on you tomorrow to go away at West Ham, which still is a difficult place to go. Let's have it right. If you don't get the result you need tomorrow, what happens then? Oh, Jesus.
Well, who knows? Who knows? But listen, we're not worried. Pressure? What pressure? Everybody's saying we're under pressure. We don't seem to play like a team that's under pressure.
I mean, I will.
Seven wins in.
Pressure, though.
No, we would say that because pressure. What pressure? Pressure's at the bottom. So nothing is phasing us. We got battered. Fair enough. We got battered in the second half, Anfield, but we still came away with a draw. Now, listen, I like what he's doing. He's all mind games. All the pressure's on us. The pressure ain't on us. The pressure's on West Ham because West Ham are in a worse position than us. Now we're going to West Ham. We know it's going to be a difficult game. But we're not worried. We know if we can play well, put away our chances, then we'll win the game. But it's interesting what he said. He said that West Ham are hoping for a point, which is interesting. Now, if that's the case, then that plays into our hands. Because I would have thought West Ham are going to try and win. But if they're going to show us that respect of going for a point, then that will suit us because of the fact that every week at Emirates, we face what he was saying about the low. Everybody, apart from Manchester United, Liverpool. To be fair, Liverpool came.
Everton beat you with that low block.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did, but they were very, very lucky. But
also,
come on.
They were Everton weren't lucky. Everton were lucky. It came from a set piece, didn't it?
What about you? Set pieces aren't lucky. Set pieces are part of the game.
No, he was very lucky. But the thing is, if that's the way West Ham are going to play, that's fine. But pressure, what pressure?
Do you not think if we came at you, if we actually came at you, that's where we're playing into your hands. That's where you could pick us apart because we're leaving ourselves exposed.
Yeah, but you're making a game of it. But if you are saying then break us down, then hopefully we will, because we're used to facing that every week at Emirates. Like I said, apart from Manchester United,
Newcastle,
yeah, Newcastle did it as well. Newcastle.
There's a draw, wasn't it?
Liverpool and Manchester United. Yeah, no, but they shouldn't have as well. But fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. They got it. But the thing is, I'm looking at Liverpool, Manchester United. They're the only ones that came to play. Everyone else hasn't come to play. So if West Ham are going to play that, that's fine because we're used to that every week. But at the same time, we know it's a difficult game. No one has to tell us. But we're not worried because we're where we are on merit.
Yeah, of course.
And if we carry on winning, hopefully we will. We'll do it, but
there's no room for error.
There is no room for error. The question that I asked you, Ty.
Alex. There's no room for error for Man City as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
no, and that's what it is when you're at the top. You've seen with Liverpool, we make one tiny error and they take the league. But
unfortunately,
in answer to my question, if you don't win, hypothetically speaking, if you don't win tomorrow, at what point do you start getting a bit nervous, I don't get nervous. Looking over your shoulder.
Listen, we'll only be nervous
because the Sharks are circling.
Yeah, well, the Sharks are circling for Man City as well. They're still behind us.
They are the Sharks.
The Sharks have been circling all season, but we're still got ahead.
They're the hunters and you're the hunted.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Listen, we'll take that. What it is that the only time we get worried is if we can't get a result at the ATF. That's when we get worried. But at the same time, we could go into this game. Obviously, ideally, still 6 points if Leicester can win at Etihad. I know that's a big if, but we're not worried. Like I said, I've seen Aaron Ramsdale talking and saying pressure. What pressure? I've been relegated 3 times. And when you hear that, exactly, and you hear that, and you see his performance because we saw that save from Salah.
Wow.
I was lucky enough to be at the game. I thought he was in.
World class.
But the save from Konate, obviously, Konate. Absolutely.
Where I was sitting.
Absolutely.
I was celebrating.
Konate, the save from Konate, well, obviously Konate should have scored fair enough. To do that, when you see that, like I said, Doyle would like this one. He was like Mr. Probs, wave after wave. We got absolutely battered. We got absolutely battered, but we
slowly.
Absolutely very good voice. But we
Sharks are in them waves.
Yeah, but we're not worried about the Sharks because we're ready for the Sharks.
You're killer whales, right?
No, we're not saying that. What we're saying is this season is unlike any other because we didn't challenge since 2015. Leicester only done it one season. It was their time. So we're hoping it's our time, but we're not talking even about winning. We're just talking about winning games. Now we know it's going to be a difficult game against West Ham, but we're confident. We're ready. We can't wait. We're like new shoes. We can't wait.
I refuse to believe you don't have any nerves.
Of course not. What nerves about what? Where we are?
About not winning the league. Danny Welbeck has scored against
Chelsea.
Semmy in the mark.
Sorry, Semmy, lad.
I said that. Danny, didn't I?
He must have come on, you know, because he
will.
didn't start the game.
You know what? Just before we move on from that, right?
Evan Ferguson came off Welbeck on 2 minutes later. He scores a goal.
Wow.
I hope Evans Ferguson's all right.
There when we talk about backup strikers. Wow.
Yeah,
There we
exactly.
go, lads.
Danny
Danny
Welbeck.
Welbeck is
Add him into the
Yeah.
chat.
So-
Just to add to these points as well, yeah. When we're going into these last parts of the season, when City and Arsenal are playing these teams at the bottom, it's now becoming a battle of wills. What is greater, lad? The battle of the will to survive. It's the will to survive or the will to win, lad. It's all about that. That's what the battle of them wills is what's going to get through it, lad.
Absolutely.
And I usually think, in my opinion, the battle to survive is usually greater than the battle to win. The will to win, it just is usually, because you've got to throw everything into it, and you don't sort of flap in that type of moment where you go 1-0 down because you've got nothing to lose.
Yes.
Whereas
Arsenal
have everything to lose, absolutely everything, and so do they. So do they. But that's why it's even bigger of a risk for them to lose, because they cannot lose.
Yeah.
But you can, because you won't. You might not win, but you're not going down.
I don't think we can afford to lose. But the thing is, that's fair enough. But the thing is, what I would say with West Ham are lucky, I think, in the fact that they beat Fulham. So to me, the pressures of them, they lost to Fulham. They really need something. So even if they don't get something tomorrow, which hopefully on our side they don't, they beat Fulham, and that Fulham game was big. You know, but like I said, we're loving. We are loving this. People I couldn't even get my words out. People are
Calm down, Ty.
Have you not considered this is your best chance of winning the league? Like this season, next season, it's going to be a different ball game.
We're not considering anything. All we're looking at is winning games. That's all we're talking about. That's why the pressure ain't getting to us. Because if the pressure got to us, we should have folded at Anfield like a card player, but we didn't.
I would say.
So if you can do that and you have a goalkeeper to pull out those saves, and Liverpool deserve to in the second half. We've no William Saliba. We don't know when he's coming back. We hope he's back soon. You know, you
Big
can
miss.
do that. You know, listen. We are not. Listen, we're not worried.
I
We're
get
not
what Ty's
underestimating. Sorry, we're not underestimating Man City, but we're not underestimating ourselves. We are there on merit, and we have to hopefully counter. We're not worried. Listen, anybody we have to play, we're ready to face them.
Okay.
I wish we were playing tonight.
No, left.
And that's what Ty's got to say.
Quick one from Dan. 2 players you're worried about tomorrow on the Arsenal team, and we'll come to you.
It's got to be Saka and Jesus. Jesus is back, annoyingly, obviously, in time to play us. Saka obviously speaks for himself, and he's going to be going against either Creswell or Emerson. We don't have defensively sound left backs as good as Emerson's been, so that's the 2 that right there and there.
Martinelli as well. He's got to be one that you've got to be.
Had a great first half an hour at Anfield last week. Ty, 2 players that you're worried about on the West Ham team?
We're not worried about anyone, to be honest. but when I say that. Apprehension. He's never worried with me. It's apprehension. Apprehension is probably Antonio. I don't know if he's going to play. I don't know if he's going to start.
Yeah, he probably will.
And also Jared Bowen, where I can say I want to give him a shout out, because I remember last season he got caught. I don't know who it was by, and he stayed on his feet when he could have got down and sent him.
It was that reckless Ramsdale flying out
that's
like
right,
a
from
clown.
Aaron, from Aaron. So no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. But like I said, we respect West Ham. No, we know it's going to be a difficult game. But like I said, we don't underestimate ourselves.
Just before we get into your predictions for that game tomorrow, a couple of super chats for Ahmad. Arsenal haven't been at the top for so long. It seems Ty is suffering from delirium due to the altitude. Someone get that man some oxygen. He completely forgot about the Man City game. It is a super chat.
He's a passionate man, lad. That's what he supports his club. He loves his club.
But I didn't. Tell me who your team is if you're brave enough. And I didn't. I said that we would start worrying if we don't beat Manchester City. We'd start worrying if we don't get results.
Say that.
No, but like I said, I'll say it again. What are we worried about? We're at the top. I don't understand.
Worried about not winning it from the position.
Are you not worried about failure?
No, we're not. But that's why we're where we are.
You have something to lose, Ty.
We have won nothing yet, so there's nothing to lose.
It's in your hands.
No, listen, we don't have anything. So that's why we're not in, because that's what a lot of people want us to. We're not rattled by Manchester City. They're talking about us, Akanji, Guardiola, Haaland, all talking. You don't hear none of our players talking. You don't hear Mikel talking about Manchester. Manchester City are the ones that are rattled. We're not rattled.
You don't sound it at all.
Can I just say,
I'm not though.
Dominic T, just quickly, Dominic T super chat, £10. Thank you very much, Dominic. It's going straight into Ty's pizza fund for after
Please
the
read
show.
this, just that quick.
Arsenal last won a Premier League in the PS2 era, says GP.
Yeah, that's right. In 2003, 2001.
But
That's
going
probably,
back to Dominic, Find it funny when people talk about us losing out on the top 4 last season and don't mention how injury-ridden we were with Tommy, Partey, Tierney all out, and
Absolutely.
Ben White, Gabriel and Saka playing whilst injured.
True. And now Saliba's out as well for your last run of games, which is not a good thing.
Coming back.
But Jamon says, preach, Ty, preach.
Absolutely.
Super chat.
So the person that said delirium, no, tell me if I'm delirious. Are we not top of the table?
You are.
Correct?
Have Man City not lost 4 games? We lost 3.
Correct?
Yep.
So what? So what's the? Did we not get battered at Anfield and still get a point?
Correct.
So where's the delirium then?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to tell me.
Ibby says Ty isn't deluded. He's just confident in his team.
He's just absolutely-
I
he's
was
absolutely
I was gonna
incredibly
say
passionate.
that I kind of get where you're coming from, because when you look at how Arsenal played this season, like
It's been
against
unbelievable.
every
can you
single
not back
against,
it?
against all the teams that they've played, not only have they won, but they've won convincingly, and one being on top, being the better team by far. So I get where the confidence comes from. Genuinely, I get it.
But how can you not? When you're
but at the same
not
time,
nerves,
but at the same time,
No
I feel
nerves,
like
no
I feel
nerves.
like maybe the nerves
Apprehension,
thing,
but no nerves.
maybe it's because they haven't been there. Maybe they're just happy to be here.
Well, listen,
that could be part of it.
listen,
You
Leicester did it in their season.
Because if you've been there before, like recently, you'd have nerves because you know that this is crunch time. But if you haven't like been there, with all due respect, if you haven't been there for a while,
We haven't.
you might just be happy to be there. Do you know what
Arsenal
I'm
were
saying?
doing the Leicester this season. They're the Leicester of 2023.
Hopefully. Hopefully. But that's what.
I will add this.
Yeah.
The first time I've seen nerves from them players was at Anfield in that second half. It was the first time I've seen Arsenal think,
the first time I've seen them second
we
best.
could lose this and this could have been big impacts. However,
and we
to
didn't.
your point, you didn't
That's what
lose,
we-
lad. And
we got
Ramsdale,
battered.
in the moment that you needed him,
Yes.
was right there, lad. And that
he
is
was,
what
he
champions
was.
do as well. So
Well, let's hope so,
it's
let's hope so.
difficult. It's very difficult, but I would say going into these games now, as a Liverpool fan, when we were going into the last 10,
Yeah.
I was terrified of every
really?
single game.
Oh no, I
lad.
can't.
Because there's so much on the line, Ty. There's
I
so
really
much
wanted
on the
that
line.
league, lad. I really wanted it, and if we drop points, lad, it wounded me heart and soul, lad. So to hear you so confident in your team,
Absolutely, I
I think
can't-
we'll get people's backs up. But love it, Ty, lad. That's what you're there to do, lad. You're there to back your team, bro. And why not? Because, as
Are
you
you
say,
the same way in cup finals, Ty? Like when you're watching a cup final, you don't feel
Absolutely.
sick, you
Love
don't
it.
feel
No,
nervous, you
because-
don't feel.
Because what it is that listen, the players are different, but as fans, you have to enjoy. If you can't enjoy, what's the point?
it's true.
I'm sorry. I'll give you an example of when a few seasons ago we beat Newcastle 1-0 to get top 3, and Lauren Koscielny scored a fantastic volley. I won't mention his name, but one of our gooners, he's got a nickname which I won't name. He was so scared, he spent the last 10 minutes in the toilet. What's the point? What's the point coming all that way if you can't
nerves,
watch
mate.
it? And
It's
what I would
nerves.
say, if the players can face it, we as fans are not playing shit.
Okay.
You need-
couple more
everyone
comments,
needs a
guys,
pilot.
just before we get into half time, because it is half time in
Yeah,
every
half-time.
single game now, apart from
Yeah.
that Tottenham game, which kicked off late. Athletic Bilbao have just scored at home to Real Sociedad. Iñaki Williams with the goal. At half time, it's Sunderland 1, Birmingham 1 as well in the
Pulisic
Championship.
scored.
Everton 1-0 against Fulham. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1. From what we've seen, it looks like Brighton have been the better team in that one. Southampton 0, Crystal Palace
Been the better
0.
team as well, higher on the XG.
Yeah,
than
Wolves 1,
Southampton.
Brentford 1 as well. Tottenham still 1-0 up thanks to Son. A couple comments before we get into the predictions for this game. Rich Torrens saying the fact that Arsenal's team is so young, the fearlessness overrides the pressure.
Absolutely.
None of the young players are scared
They're
of
not.
any team.
No, they're not.
There was
Well, the
one more
excuse
as
was
well.
last season was that they were young. That's why they buckled it.
Another
Yeah,
super
but
chat from
where are we
Tina.
now, though?
So if United lost out on top 4, can we United fans blame it on the injuries, Ty? Injury to Rashford, Shaw
Of course you can.
and Martinez.
Of course you can. If your best men are out, you're not going to do anything. Or best women, if you're talking about women's football. If your best
Players.
look what's happened to Liverpool. Now, I don't think Liverpool would be in this position if they didn't have so many injuries to key
sure,
players
yeah.
at key moments. So of course.
I'm not sure who. Yeah,
Yeah,
Van Dijk has been injured.
No, this season.
This season.
This season, Van Dijk has been
Diaz,
injured.
yeah.
Van Dijk has been
Yeah,
injured.
but you think Diaz was being?
I think it's just
yes.
Van Dijk.
You think that's the
Thiago
difference between you
Alcantara.
being where you are and being in the top 4?
No.
It's not just that.
It's the
of course.
midfield.
It's
Diaz.
the midfield injuries that we've had all season long.
Thiago
If it's not
Alcantara.
Hendo, Thiago's out. If he's not out, Keita gets injured, or someone who has been starting games, Harvey Elliott as well.
I think that's just.
I don't agree, because even if
Yeah.
I think even if Hendo, even if your midfield has been fully fit, I feel like they've kind of come to the end of their cycle anyway. It needs a revamp anyway.
But I
I
think
know we
injuries
know
have a-
that, but injuries
injuries-
never help when you're trying
don't.
to build.
Everyone's got. Listen, we've had Skamaka,
Yeah, we had the whole 11
Paqueta,
out at one
Boyd
point
out
as well,
for
yeah.
most
And
of the
you're
season.
getting a relegation battle, lads.
Yeah, but I
Exactly.
don't blame the injuries. Injuries
But
are a
if
part
the
of it,
players
but-
were fit, would you be there?
I don't think they would.
No, is the answer.
No, but the thing
West
is,
Ham should not be that far
but
down.
everyone gets injuries.
Yeah, everyone
you
gets
have
injuries.
to expect injuries.
It's true, and also when you do have the players, it doesn't matter if you've all got, like Chelsea for example, they've got all the players that they could possibly want and they're still not doing well. It's not just that, but you can.
That's true.
I do think that injuries play a part.
Can
The season when in lockdown, when Liverpool had all the centre backs injured, that affected us massively. It really did.
And to be fair, at one point we had a whole 11 out as well at the start of the year. At the start of the year. But
and then you bought a whole new one.
Yeah. But like I said, injuries like
injuries
for me,
have injuries
yeah,
have
it just happens.
Injuries
you know what
have a part because it's no secret that we're top of the table. Thomas Partey has not been injured this season at all.
Oh yeah, no. When he when he was off,
exactly,
you missed him
massively.
so much.
So you've been lucky, really.
But that's why.
You've been lucky.
Yeah, of course we
That's
have.
why.
We're lucky to be at the top, of course.
Not having Saliba's a bit
But
scary.
yeah, no, I think every
It is.
successful team gets.
We're lucky.
You got to be able
gets
to
a decent
adapt.
run with injuries.
You know what I mean? Like when you get an injury.
Well, it's
you've got
about
to be able
depth,
to-
isn't it, lad? It's about
Yeah,
depth.
depth as
That's
well.
why City are able to compete on all four fronts every single season. Is because if they take someone off or somebody's injured, they can replace them with the same, like substitutes, and it's just there for them.
Like
so.
They can.
Big up to Ahmad, just having fun with some banter. Ty, you're just too easy to get worked up. I'm
Not
a
really,
Man United
not really.
fan, by the way, but in the end, it's just football and it's not personal. says
Okay, no,
Ahmad.
not really, because the panel proved me right. I'm not delirium because I mentioned three things that are true. I can even mention, did we win in League at Old Trafford? Yes, so it's not delirium. If you want me to say that.
Well, that's going back into
It's true though.
GP says,
But
what's
it's cool.
Ty's super chat? What's Ty's favourite PS2 game? What is your favourite PS2 game?
Gosh, I don't even know because I didn't have a PS2.
Oh, really? Fair play.
But it'd probably be any of the. It'd probably be Pro Evolution Soccer Manager.
Okay, ZFB with a super chat. Listen to these desperate, deluded fools, AGT, Doyle and West Ham fan. You think Arsenal will just disappear next year? I don't think any of us said
None of
that.
us
at
said
all,
That's
by the way.
not nice. That's
Not
a
a
bit.
single one of us
There's
said
no
that.
need to say. There's no
Don't be
need to call it
dumb,
that.
he says.
That's a
Don't
bit.
be dumb yourself, because we didn't even say that.
I don't know what any of that was.
Come
We
on, let's
agreed
be
with a lot of what Ty said.
I'm not even
respectful.
gonna-
Let's be
yeah,
respectful.
come on.
Sorry, bud.
Last season, Arsenal had a 17-man squad plus injuries, says Rich. 17-man squad plus injuries, saying Rich Torrance. Obviously a light squad. Before we end this one, predictions. How does this one finish tomorrow? London Stadium, West Ham versus Arsenal. Dan.
I've said heart says 1-1. You know, if I was to bet money, I'd say 3-0 to them, and that hurts. That absolutely hurts me to say, but
Wow, I hope he's right. I hope
let's
you're right.
take that. Let's throw that away. Let's stick with the 1-1, man.
Okay.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this.
Right,
As Robbie
well,
said.
My heart says 3. My heart says 3. My heart says 3-0, but my head says 2-0. Hopefully to us.
So just a goal less.
Yeah, absolutely.
So an Arsenal win. An Arsenal win. There you
Hopefully.
go. And there's been a goal for Bournemouth away at
FUAD, lad, you're watching, bro. You're watching this. Good. Yeah, just I had to fit that in there, lad. I know you haven't lost yet, but
My prediction is on.
if you were here right now, FUAD, lads, oh my days.
Do you know what? The decibel levels when he's sitting here and he shouts so much.
It's nice, innit? I wish it was
Matteo
FUAD's
Vino.
here. I wish it was FUAD's here, lads.
I wish it was
No.
tapping Tobes here, man.
Matthias Vigna with the goal for Bournemouth. As we know, that one kicked off 15 minutes late because of traffic. Cherry's traffic.
I've got to say, speaking of FUAD, I'm going to say something. Somebody said that looking like a CBBC presenter. What's
let's
wrong
get the
with looking
picture
like
up
a
from that. We've got the picture up.
CBBC presenter.
We've got
I
the
think they
picture.
look cool.
There he is.
Oh my word.
Oh, yeah, he does look like
2014.
CBC presenter.
Looking
yeah.
like he's got his Blue Peter badge.
That's heavy, that, you know.
Yeah.
FUAD, that's unfortunate.
That
That
shirt
one,
is a howler, man.
Yeah, that shirt's-
It's like
the
half a
shirt's
tea
horrible.
towel, half something else. I don't know what. Maybe that was the era. Though.
Yeah, I think it's a nice picture. Bar the shirt.
It's a nice picture.
No, he's a
That's
hot
got very-
No, we're not talking about his appearance. We're talking about that shit.
Yeah, that shirt's
what we're
awful.
talking
Yeah,
about
that
right
shirt's
there, bro. You
It's
know what
like
I mean?
Freddy Krueger.
It's
on
got
that, isn't it?
2009 vibes.
He's going to be a lumberjack on the
It's
one
got
half.
Rihanna on the t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Vibes. That's what it's giving.
Beige Geno's on with them, lads.
man.
Bring
Defo.
it back, Fuad.
Van-
But
Bring it
listen, Fuad right now won't be happy as his team have equalised
Bash.
at home to Bournemouth.
You mean Bournemouth
Bash.
equalised against his team?
Sorry, yes, Bournemouth have equalised against his team away, I should
Yes.
say. Right, as we know, it is half time.
It is.
Let's talk about Jude Bellingham, shall we?
Mate.
Apparently, the chat are also calling Fuad Alexander Isak for that picture as well.
I can see it.
That's a good
I
chat.
see.
But let's talk about Jude Bellingham. It was this tweet that sent shivers down the spines of Liverpool fans, and it was Fabrizio Romano 4 days ago saying Liverpool have cooled their interest in Jude Bellingham, as reported by the UK media tonight. No bid, as Liverpool no longer work on this deal at the current conditions. Package worth more than 130, now considered too expensive. However, LFC will sign 2 to 3 midfielders in any case. We broke this news down on the COP TV yesterday and the day before, so if you want to catch more on Jude Bellingham and from the Liverpool perspective, go over to the COP TV and watch that after this. But I have to come to you, Doyle. When you first heard this, you text me straight away. I don't even think I texted you back because I was just too angry. I was in bed when I saw it. I was ready to shut my eyes and get a decent night's kit, but this kind of kept me up all night, this news. We know more than anyone how excited that me and you have got, especially over this potential signing. Where do you stand on this one? What's the future looking like now? Because essentially Liverpool have ruled themselves out of a race that hasn't even begun yet.
My thoughts
the window's not even open.
My thoughts on it, I've got so many thoughts about it, to be honest with you. Dan was talking about timing earlier, and you know, you have to jump in for managers at the right time. You also have to do that with players, and I don't think we've seen any weakness in our midfield when it was obviously there. We had players like Ox, Milner, and we had Keita that are on the way out. I love Milner, wonderful player, but he should never be starting for Liverpool at 38 in our midfield, especially the way Jurgen Klopp plays. He plays a chaotic, intense style of football, and he just can't deliver that week in, week out, and it's not fair to expect him to do so. Keita's injured all the time. Ox got an injury and never come back the same after that. So there was always a need for midfielders, and what I don't understand was last season in the summer window, why have we went for somebody like Núñez, and I get it, Mane left, and then went for a Gakpo as well. We should have saved the money for Gakpo, put him towards a Jude Bellingham signing, because there's 40 mil already. And it's not to say that Gakpo isn't brilliant, because he is. I love him, think he's a great player. But if we need midfielders, and we have to be ruthless on it. I just don't understand how you can have one of the best midfielders in the world right now who's basically saying, I want to come to your club. Right? Not only one of the best midfielders, but also one of the best prospects in world football right now, and says, I want to come to your club, and you say, sorry lad, can't afford you. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't emphasise a team working at the top level,
it doesn't
operating at the top level. And one thing that you can say about Liverpool in the last 5 years is how good the recruitment's been.
It has.
Without Julian Ward, without Michael Edwards, without a director of football, Liverpool, I don't actually know who is leading these negotiations at the minute, and how all of a sudden we can go from we've been interested for the longest out of any club. We know the interest is there. We know, yes, of course, that Trent goes to concerts with him and Henderson has dinner with him. We know all of that. But show your ambition here. Don't just rule yourself out of this before the race has begun. And to say that we can't afford it, I mean, we might not be able to afford it, but you don't say that out in the open and show your other look.
You know what I mean? Where's the try and getting the price down? Offering players in it.
And the timing, like Doyle said, is just bewilders me, because again, the window's not even open. Let's save all this chat until the end of the season, when it really will start becoming silly season and the transfer window. I mean, we'll be doing daily shows on here talking about it pretty much every day. I'm sure we will. But that just shows me that compared to a 2018 or a 2019 or a 2020, when we could just get a Thiago in, get a Alisson, get a Van Dijk, amazing players. What has happened from us since then to now to not be able to get these deals across the line? And I'm not saying that we are going to have to spend 130, but the way we've done deals in the past is here's 70 and we'll give you the rest up front across 6 years.
Lots of teams do this.
Everyone does
Chelsea
that.
have done it about 17 times this season.
They've just extended Enzo Fernando's contract again by another year. An 8.5-year deal to a 9.5-year deal. It's ridiculous. But at the top level, the Real Madrids, the cities, if we're pussyfooting around by saying, I don't know if we can afford it, they'll just go, well, we can, thank you very much, he's our player now. And then we're sitting there going, we didn't get our plan A, but we got plan E and F and G. That's not how Liverpool should be operating.
That's the point. If we're looking to go and buy Premier League players, they're not going to be cheap either. And if you're looking at the likes of Mason Mount, good player, Conor Gallagher, all right player, Núñez, all right player again, but still don't have a patch on Jude Bellingham. And also, they might not want to come to us. That's the whole thing. So if you go through all these lists and you're checking this off, and he doesn't want to come to us, he doesn't want to come to us, he doesn't want to come. Then you're left with nothing.
I think. And I think rival fans will say, like Flex the other day got on to me about me saying they went to a Chris Brown concert and all that stuff. It doesn't matter really when it comes down to that. But to say that he does, because I think he does want to come to Liverpool. That's what I think.
So do I.
He could easily want to go to Real Madrid. He could easily want to go to Man City as well. But I think he wants that move, and for us
I agree.
for him to be showing us the signs, and for us to say, it's like going up to a girl in a club, right? And you want to impress her, you want to buy her a drink, and the bill comes, and you can't even afford it, and you got to walk away before you've even had the chance to have a
Will you
little
go out
dance.
with me on this, please,
You
love?
know what I mean? Oh my word!
It's terrible.
Very good analogy.
It's sideman behaviour.
As well as without. Do you know what? Do you know why?
How much is that?
It's also.
Oh, no, sorry. I've got to go, love. See you in a bit, yeah?
It's also timing of the news, right? We're in the midst of a really poor season, our worst season in about 6 years, and you give us this news after a loss against Bournemouth, whoever it was. It doesn't make sense to me. It's the wrong timing for the news. They've managed to literally kill my excitement, not only for this season, but for next season as well. My excitement's been killed because I just can't see us competing on the top level with these type of players that we're looking on bringing in. I can't.
100%. But I also heard, again, the guy we know in the pub down the road, he said, well, I've got a theory, because I think he stays at Dortmund for a year, right? They put a release clause in that's tailor-made for Liverpool, and then we get him next year. But again, who knows what's going to happen with this one? Where does it end? That's the question we're asking you. Where does he end up, and when?
You need
Does he end
players
up at
now.
Dortmund?
No, exactly. I was gonna say that as
None
well,
of
yeah.
this keep doing it like, okay, we're
Because
going
we
to
did that with
Let's
Keita.
write a season.
We did that with
You
Keita.
cannot write seasons off for delayed success. That's not how it works. You have to build it. I mean, I'm not a professional manager, and I'm not an owner of a football club.
Yeah.
But what I have seen was when Liverpool were at the top, they built incrementally, and they done it at the right time. So, you know, when we bought Virgil van Dijk and we bought Alisson, we got rid of Coutinho because we were ruthless, but we also bought little players here and there. We're not going to get lucky again and buy another Mo Salah for 30 million. That doesn't exist. We got incredibly lucky to get a player that come in and scored 44 goals in his first season. That doesn't happen anymore. Haaland. But it won't happen. He still paid a lot of money. And so I think when you're looking at top prospects, Jude Bellingham is number one on the list for
and
so
Jamie
many
Carragher
teams, lad.
tweeted, Liverpool pull out of the race for Jude Bellingham because it's too expensive and more work is needed to do to the squad. He was always going to cost 120 plus. Liverpool needed a midfielder last summer and 2 this summer. These facts should not be a surprise. This is the thing that annoys Liverpool fans, because it seems to us like there's been no planning. We've had all this time to plan. You know, we've been hearing that we're selling players to raise funds for transfers, even though Liverpool have raised $500 million across the last 7 years in terms of winning trophies and getting far in competitions. That's the reward or prize money that we've got for that. So why are we only saying now, after a pretty weak, damp £87 million offer, why are we surprised it's going to cost more than that? And then why did we even tell people that we've made a bid for us to now look embarrassed and stupid?
Yeah, you know what? I need to ask you two, because I know you're very staunch Kloppites, right? You've been very silent on the manager, what the managers had to say. Yeah, I think you know.
Silent. Have you seen
I don't know if he's
quality?
been.
Yeah, I mean, like in terms of
Alex
you're
say
very
things.
forgiving. I mean, on this issue, right? What I've heard you say, it's a lot of we and they. Jurgen Klopp has come out, and I've seen some Liverpool fans basically accusing him of defending the board, being a board mouthpiece, apologist.
No.
He's basically told you lot, you're spoilt children. Sit down and be happy with what you get.
I mean, his comment where he's talked about the Ferrari, like, let's be honest, I'm not trying to disrespect the man. English is not his first language, right? So he's not going to come up with the best analogies every single time he does something as a human being. So that I won't take that as an insult to us.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's a mouthpiece either. He has come out and said, I don't agree with everything that they do, but this is what
he
my
did
tools
say
I've
that
got,
as well.
and I've got to work with them.
Yeah.
And that's the message he's trying to give across to the fans. He's saying, listen, I know Jude Bellingham's a boss player, and I would have him in a heartbeat, but I can't, because I've only got 20 quid, lad. So you want me to spend this 20 quid, I'm going to have to spend it in the ways that the club wants me to spend it in, because I don't have that say to bring in another 100 million, because he's the manager, he's not the owner.
But it sounds like he's asked you as a whole, rather than, to me, I know what you're saying, it's like, don't blame me. But to me, that didn't come across as don't blame me. It sounded across, don't complain. Don't complain that we can't spend as a club 140.
He's telling us to be realistic.
million,
He's not saying don't complain. He's saying be
Being
realistic. This is all we can
Are
do.
you being realistic as a club? Because that, I mean, still, that's a lot of money.
You're basically saying it was never on anyway. Because that's what Klopp seems to be saying to me. It's like, you know, you get what you're given kind of thing. We
For
can't
that
all get
price,
shiny
though,
toys.
a lot of clubs
But
would
why
not.
tease it for so long, though? This is my issue.
Do you
with
think
it.
they
Like,
thought they could get it a lot cheaper? Get him
Clearly.
Yeah.
And I think the relationship between
It's an
Dortmund and
outrageous
Klopp
price.
is still there. I mean, there is, again, 10% of Liverpool fans are saying, well, he's not worth that money anyway. Let's invest it into two players.
I agree with those 10%, personally.
You
And-
paid,
and-
what is it, 100 odd million for Fernandez?
I don't agree with everything Chelsea do.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So you've seen it on
Yeah,
your
exactly. And even the Fernandes thing, I wasn't on that wave. I didn't think he was worth that money either. I think that type of money should only be spent on superstar attackers, guys that win you football matches. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying midfielders don't win you football. Obviously, they contribute. I'm talking about the guys that actually at the top end of the pitch, your Mbappe's, your Haalands, guys like that, who are just superstars and 1 in a million, personally. But on Bellingham, again, and I think Bellingham is a fantastic player. For that money, me personally, no, I wouldn't pay it.
You wouldn't take him at Chelsea for 120?
If Chelsea were in for him at 120, not for me.
Does he?
Because I honestly feel like, sorry to cut you. I honestly feel like whilst you might not get a player that's the same prospect as a Jude Bellingham, you can get someone that will do you a good enough job that will help your team get to the objectives that you want to get to. I'll give an example. Yeah, like let's just say you got Caicedo, for example. Just an example. Yes, he's not a superstar like Jude Bellingham. He's not on that. No. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. He's not like a superstar like Jude Bellingham. He's probably not got the same trajectory as him. But can he do a role that would elevate your team? Possibly. So you can get someone that's of that. That's how I see it personally. That's how I would want my team to operate.
That's immediate satisfaction from your team, and I agree that's what we need right now. But we also are in the middle of a rebuild to build a squad for the next 5 years, and that's why someone like Jude Bellingham should be right at the helm of it. He's already got relationships with Hendo and Trent. He's got he can build on that throughout the next few years. Like,
can you build a squad putting that on one player though? If you spend 140 on one,
and that's the point. I don't want to buy one player, lad. I would like to buy Jude Bellingham and 2 other midfielders still, because we've been one of the most profitable teams in the last 5 years in the world, and that's it. So then profits should be going back into the squad and a bit more investment.
Fans does lead from the fact that we know that there is money there because we've seen us accumulate that with successful periods. So spend it. That's what Doyle was basically saying.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question? If you pay the money for Jude Bellingham, right? What are you paying for? Like, what would his role be in the Liverpool team? Because I see Jude Bellingham as he's a bit of an all-rounder.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's really got like a specific. I wouldn't say he's like I wouldn't say he's a DM.
An all-rounder, though.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't say he's like a DM. I wouldn't say he's like a number 10.
He's a number 8. He's a full-on number. He's a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah.
He's someone that can carry the ball from the bottom of the pitch to the top of the pitch very easily. And
that's
score
what
goals
we need,
as well.
an all-rounder. We
and
don't have
tackle.
any. We've got someone like Henderson. Traditionally, you say he's got the legs and he's a leader. That's his thing. Thiago is the silky,
the 6
passes,
the
6 on the pivot. Fabinho's the destroyer. But I think Bellingham does all of that.
Does everything,
Ty, do you think Arsenal has seen this news and are going to be sort of alerted and get excited and think, do you know what, we could swoop in if Liverpool ain't.
If they win the
Arsenal
league as well.
could, yeah, exactly. And Kroenke's shown, past few seasons, he's not afraid to spend.
He's backed, but this thing with Liverpool, obviously Doyle and Alex would know more than me, but to me, and obviously Romano's he's quite proven to know things. To me, this just means nothing, because there's nothing to say that he will not end up at Liverpool. There's
It's true,
nothing
yeah,
to
that is
say
also true.
that
Yeah.
Liverpool
Klopp saying
won't
what
go
he said
in for
is a
him.
big
No,
thing.
but I think what it possibly could be from the outside.
Stop giving me hope, Ty.
No,
Stop it, lad.
It could be a great distraction from Klopp.
Don't do this
Because
to me,
everybody's
lad.
talking about Liverpool not signing Bellingham, whereas he might now be able to go and get the players they need. That could be a distraction, but to me, I still think he'll end up at Liverpool, because if
You
he's a
don't think
Liverpool
Arsenal are going to go in for him?
I know.
I don't think so.
I
don't
think
so.
Jude Bellingham is still this summer coming to Liverpool.
Maybe not this summer. I agree with Alex. It might be that
Because the window's not open yet.
You
not closed
That is
yet
mad.
either.
It's mad. What are you doing?
I think he will end up at Liverpool. I think what it might be, the thing might be, stay at Dortmund for another season. But I think it doesn't mean he's going elsewhere. I still think he's going to end up at Liverpool.
I just think that's not good
Do you know what? Do you know what? For me, right now, right?
Goal for Crystal Palace away at
1-0.
Southampton. Massive goal for Palace. The joyous occasions are continuing there for Roy Hodgson.
He's done really well, hasn't he?
Palace Rangers are also 2-1 up at home to St Mirren.
Vieira would have got these results,
equalising.
man. They sacked him soon.
Well,
they sacked him before their most winnable run again.
I agree.
But-
Everyone's saying this.
Fair enough. I just think
But
that sorry.
just to finish this Bellingham one off, right? Let's all name a club where we think he'll end up. Maybe this season. It was Eze with the goal again, by the way. 2-2 for him. But let's go Semmy first.
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. And when?
Not this summer. Next summer.
So he stays at Dortmund.
I think he
for a year?
stays.
Okay.
For this summer.
Do you know what? You're not going to like this. Manchester United.
No, he's never going.
I think so. They've got
not
some.
going
They,
there. He is not.
How much would that hurt if that happened? Seeing him in.
As much as Gakpo going to Liverpool.
I just want to say, right, the
But I
fact.
don't
Oh,
think
got another goal. Oh, Everton.
Former Liverpool player as well, Harry Wilson.
Harry Wilson
Has
scored a
scored
goal.
for Fulham
Great
away
for
at
us.
Everton, and that's what we love to see.
Yes, Fulham.
We
Just before we
love
move
to see
on,
it.
just before we move on from Bellingham, right, I will say this. Why did they choose this timing right now to tell us that they're not buying Jude Bellingham? The season's not finished. They could
Exactly.
have waited until the
It's the
summer
timing.
window. They could have waited until that happened.
I hear
And
that.
then we'd been disappointed then. At this moment right now that they're telling us, I don't understand it. I need an explanation from the owners, from Jürgen, from whoever it is, to tell me, why are you letting us know this right now? Is there a reason for this? Because what you've just said, give me a little bit of hope, lad. And I don't want no hope, okay? If this is what
It's
it
the
is.
hope that kills you.
Yeah.
So just to round it off, you've said Manchester United when
This summer.
and Harry Kane.
Because if they get that takeover, right, which you were supposed to get, they're splashing, man. They're spending
Alright.
that money,
Doyle, where's he ended up and when?
Staying at Dortmund and he'll come to Liverpool next year.
which is.
The delusion continues.
I feel like that's no good for you because you have to bounce back next season.
Yeah.
Next season you have to be back challenging. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're
believe me, I know.
It pains me, but Real Madrid.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I still think he's going up at Liverpool. I
Okay,
really do.
I'll change my mind to that then. Big up to you, Ty.
No, he's giving me hope.
I love it.
No, what I would say is that, listen, I can't say anything, but to Liverpool, don't worry because nothing has happened. It could be Liverpool saying the deal is not right for us. It doesn't mean Liverpool can't come back and say the deal is right for us again in the summer.
Okay. Well, there's been a goal for Yeovil Town in the National
Yes.
League away at Solihull Moors. They've needed that. And they're probably looking like they're going down this season, unfortunately, Yeovil. But just to reiterate, it's still half-time at Tottenham. It's still 1-1 against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And, of course, Crystal Palace are 1-0 up away at Southampton. And Fulham have gone 2-1 up as well. We had a great watch-along on Thursday night here on DR Sports. Let's just have a little look at a Manchester United fan getting humbled. I think we could all watch that. Where's the communication there between the defender and the goalie, Laurie?
You see, the thing is, why I'm so comfortable now. You can see why I was confident at the beginning. We're 2-0 up, but because we've got Casemiro, Varane especially, I'm not even thinking, they might come back into it. These players are experienced. These man Europa League for Casemiro and Varane. This is below their
baby
level.
food,
This is
really.
below their level.
Look, it's not below their level.
No.
So it wouldn't be, that is a very arrogant thing to say.
No, but I'm saying that like
No, seriously, that is extremely arrogant for you to say that
Yes.
below their
Yeah.
level.
Yeah,
It's
I'm a
not
Man
below
United
their
fan.
level.
We live in the world of
They
arrogance.
are where they are for a
Fergie
reason.
grew me.
Is he
Fergie
self-confident
grew me.
now, yeah?
Fergie's child.
This is typical
But
of
I was
United
confident at the
fans.
start of the game. But I said,
This is why United are much disliked across the country. They're winning 2-0 and playing well,
I might change my tune.
and here you are
Fergie's child.
saying that
Chance.
the Europa League is beneath United's
No, I
level.
didn't say United level. I said below.
We heard in Klopp's press conference yesterday.
Did you
He
see it?
said,
Did you see it?
did you see it?
No, I didn't
Man
see it.
said, I am positive.
So you saying Bellingham confirmed?
Imagine
first, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's your word.
Jude Bellingham doesn't come to Liverpool at the end of this season.
It would be the biggest tease ever.
Yeah, it will.
Ever.
No, if this
wouldn't
move
do it
does
for
not
no
happen,
reason.
I don't want to hear Liverpool fans blaming Jude. You lot did this to yourselves.
Yeah, that's fair.
You sold yourselves
A lot
the
of
dream,
fans
yeah?
think we've already got him. Please.
If Jude can come for them 3 years and build something with us then, and we get a new manager in after that, and we can still be that winning team with him at the helm, being captain with his best mate Trent, lad.
Something you've been telling us week in, week out will happen.
Yeah. Well, listen, Trent
Well,
was...
are you getting worried about that?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, obviously I am, because it's no secret that all the top clubs in the world would also want him.
But you guys said
He's gone to dinner
with Trent. You went Chris Brown with Trent.
If we don't get him after all of this back and forth, it's the biggest tease in football history.
But what's that?
It's the
But
biggest
you've
blue
made up the
balls
tease.
ever.
Who's told you you're getting him?
Because I've been joining in with the tease, because I've been seeing the pictures. Trent at dinner.
How? Because they're just teammates, though.
Exactly.
Joe Joyce, the Juggernaut versus Zile Zhang.
Someone's getting knocked out, as Eddie Hearn once famously said.
It goes down live Saturday, DR Sports Boxing.
Make sure you're there, man. We're going to be getting the beers out. We're going to be with the boys, having a great time. You do not want to miss miss it. Joyce, Yang, put it in your calendar. Make sure you're there this Saturday on DR Sports because it's about to get tasty.
Make sure you check it out.
Yeah, make sure you check that one out. Zine Zhang tonight versus Joe the Juggernaut. Joyce. Anyway, let's move on.
Yes,
all right?
Those clips were juicy.
Clips were great. Thank you.
They
Ryan.
were great. I was actually watching the Man United one, right, and I was like, oh, it's usually me getting clipped like this. And then I see me straight after, and I was like, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Tina with another super chat. Thank you. She says, even if United gets new owners, we can just throw money around because of our FFP rules. United have lost over 315 million over 3 years.
Wow, that's true.
Tina.
That's mad.
A lot of debt that club are in as well.
I think the debt would be paid off. They'd be paid. I think the debt would be bought.
That's why they want the biggest fee they can get, so they can pay off that debt as well, of around £1 billion, or I think it's around 750 million.
Oh my gosh!
That the Glazers have kind of taken out of the club. Still half time at Tottenham, and the scores still remain the same everywhere else as well. Let's now talk about West Ham. Okay, should David Moyes stay as manager if he keeps them up and wins the European trophy this season? He said, I'm a big boy. I've left jobs at times in the past, and if this is one that happened, then I would have to go with that. I really like my job here, and I like the people I work for. I've enjoyed my time greatly. That seems like a little bit of a resignation, but if that happened, Dan, let's say he keeps them up and they win a European trophy, do you think he should still go after both of those things happening? Okay.
Absolutely. And I can see why on the outside everyone's going to go, oh, that's harsh because he's won West Ham a trophy, and it's a great season, in retrospect. But you can't keep managers on sentiment. You have to look at what he's capable of going forward. And over the course of a season, right, he's been diabolical. Not even the course of a season. Since December 2021. I think we've won something like 16 games since December 2021. That's shocking. So I have no faith in the manager going forward. Look at spent £200 million. He's brought in Scamacca. He's brought in Paqueta, corner. Okay, he's had some of those players have been injured, but he's shown that he does not know what to do with these players. He can't play to their strengths. He has one way of playing, and that's it. We need to progress. And it's, as harsh as it is, and I said this on our show on Friday Night Pirate, I said, don't cry for Moyes. He's a millionaire, right? We're not sending him out to the job centre on Monday. We're going to say thank you for the trophy. Best of luck with Norwich.
Norwich.
Yeah, I think that's where he needs to go. I think that's the perfect club. Small squad, no money, little ambition, and he'll be fine there. And I can't stand to watch the football anymore. Football's dire.
Okay.
What are the expectations for West Ham? Because you say that you can't watch the football at the minute. I mean, what did you want at the start of the season compared to what you can expect now?
I wanted to be back challenging for Europe. I wanted to keep that consistent. I definitely didn't want to be in a relegation battle. I didn't mind the drop-off. I don't expect us to get better every season. Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, they've all shown you have drop-off seasons. Everyone has them. But the drop-off after what we've spent is astronomical. It's just not good enough. So if we were around 8th, 7th, in there challenging, maybe can get back into the Conference League or back into the Europa League. That's what our aim was, and we're miles off it.
Considering using the Europa League semis last season as well, it has been a massive drop off. But I agree. It's all about trajectory. It's all about where are they going. And I think West Ham are actually a big club. I think personally, I think when you look at like the identity of West Ham and like even the stadium that they're in, they're actually a pretty big club. So they shouldn't. So where they should be looking to be is consistently in and around the Europa places, in and around that top 8. So to be where they are now, it's not good enough, and they've actually spent money. So
and bought quality players as well.
Exactly.
Paqueta is a good footballer. He should be doing better at West Ham than he is.
A Conference League trophy doesn't, sweep all the crap this season under the carpet and make us just forget about
the cracks.
How. Yeah, exactly.
What's the ownership like? Are they the type to sweep everything under the cover and look at the trophy, or are they the type to actually look forward and be like, okay, cool, like we actually need to progress and sack him?
You have to win a trophy first to find out, I guess.
Yeah. The hypothetically speaking. Yeah.
There's been a lot of reports that he will be sacked regardless, which is wild. That it's like you was there, it's coming out now, while he's still in management.
Job. Yeah.
When we had Big Sam and we was in the top 4 at Christmas and his last season, there was rumours that Big Sam was told, we're not going to keep you to the end of the season, and then we just nosedived and finished like mid-table. I mean,
not a great incentive, is it?
You know, it's
By
not.
the way, no matter how you do now, lads, you're getting sacked. So
Yeah, like I look at it like if I'm Moyes, I try like for him, he needs to win that trophy for himself, if anything, because he hasn't done it. He hasn't won a single thing. So I hope that he has that incentive. But yeah, the owners, we might have a change in ownership. Kretinsky's come in. He's bought more shares. He's our second majority owner. If you don't know who he is, I think he's one of the owners of Royal Mail.
Okay.
And we know what they've been going through
Let's see
recently.
if he delivers. Unlike his company.
Nice one.
Yeah,
Nice.
but that's what. But these people that are trying to buy Man United, I don't know why they don't buy West Ham. You're going to pay what, 5 billion or something for Man United? Yeah, you can get us for 600 mil. London club, build us up. You've got a clear debt. All of this stuff. Do you know what I mean?
600 mil. Do you reckon that's around about the?
I think that's what they're looking for. Yeah, around 600 mil.
Okay.
And then
400.
Listen, for me, yeah, listen, I'll take 50p to get these owners out, honestly. So whatever they can take. But yeah, I think we're going to get the stadium soon. They're going to give us the stadium because it cost them too much money to have it, the LLDC, the stadium owners. So you get a stadium, you get London club, you're laughing. Why don't they do it?
Yeah, Steve, West Ham, sorry, though, he says, here we go, no chance. The geezer is tactically inept, spot on, Dan. Says Steve.
The reason why these owners look for Man United's and Liverpool's and whatever to own is the allure of success from other players as well. So if you go to a West Ham, you're not necessarily going to attract a Mbappe or a Haaland, are you? If you go to Man United, lads, like they're talking about getting Harry Kane in and Jude Bellingham, so there's much more chance and opportunity for success.
But then look at Man City, look at Chelsea.
No, yeah,
you
it's
build
true.
something,
It's true,
and
lad,
then you can build something, and then you attract those players like Haaland, and then you can say, I did that.
No,
it was me that built that, not I just got the brand and the brand did it. I've done something.
And West Ham is supported very widely by the fans and stuff. So
we're watching the Chelsea Bournemouth game. 62 minutes gone, still 1-1 there. Bellingham could be another Sancho to struggle in the Premier League. Just going through a couple more super chats. Says Rich Torrens, another super chat here saying, is Welbeck the most loved player by 2 rival fans? Says Diallo
That's
with
a good
super
question.
chat.
That's a very good question.
Yeah, I don't think anyone hates Welbeck at all, do they?
I don't think particularly loved by United though.
I definitely know he dived a few years ago against Liverpool and he cost us a point, or 2 points.
Right.
So yeah.
And we still love him. Injury prone, unfortunately, but still like him. He's been very respectful for us. Unfortunately,
clutch goals for Arsenal as well.
He was good. I mean, when Brighton unfortunately beat us in the Carabao Cup,
goal for Palace. They've doubled their lead, but who has scored it? Doyle.
Who is it? It's Eze
again. Great result that is for Palace. I did say they'd win this one 2-1.
Come on, Ainsley.
By the way, Giovanni Reina has just scored a last-minute winner for Borussia Dortmund in their fight to win Bundesliga. What a goal that could be in the German league, because it's 1-1 full time. Bayern Munich at home to Hoffenheim. That's a massive goal for Giovanni Reina. And obviously Sadio Mane and Leroy Sané had a bit of a tear up. His bloody lip has been pictured.
Allegedly,
well, there's no allegedly like it. He's
he's very out of character.
There's no allegedly about it. It's I can send the picture actually to production so we can get the picture up.
What was all that about then?
The
it has to be something, lad. It has to be some disrespect on Sadio Mane to do that.
Reports here, well, if we are to believe what Sané said to Mane is true, then he deserved a punch in the face. If you're asking me, I'm not going to repeat what he said.
On air, obviously.
Jamie obviously knows what I'm talking about because he's heard the alleged quote as well. So if he has said that, then he deserved a punch in the face, if I'm honest.
Oh my gosh.
But I've sent a picture to our production. Let's see if we can get that on the stream. This is a zoomed in picture of the cut on Sané's lip. I think this is from training from before this game today.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a pretty.
Sorry to hear that.
It's a pretty nasty little cut.
Yeah, they may do.
They
may do.
Big up to Meshash, who says, "Wow, AGT has talent. Why not do voiceovers for films?" I already do.
He does.
Thank you, brother.
Really?
I mean, he did just take. Oh, another goal! Yeah.
Come on! I don't care that they're on relegation rivals.
Unbelievable! Yeah. And no one gave Bournemouth a chance today, but former Liverpool and Chelsea striker Dominic Solanke has just scored at the start of the second half to put Bournemouth 2-1 up. FUAD is certainly in the mud. I wish he was here, actually.
Yeah, so do I, lad. And I said that the night I was like, last time Liverpool played against City, and you should have seen this little hype boy from Man City.
Goal for Wolves as well.
Oh, 2-0.
They've doubled their lead at home to Brentford. The goals are flying in like London buses. And it's Wang with the goal. Another striker that, again, hasn't been amongst the goals this season.
No,
but
last
two
season he done
strikers
really well.
have scored for Wolves today in Costa and Wang. So big up to them. Hee-Chan Wang.
Yes.
I give respect to AGT. At least he reads the non-super chat saying Axel. Yes, I do. It's not all about the paid chats. Big up to the Chelsea vet. AGT massive glory hunter. How can I be?
Why is he glory hunter?
Yeah.
What year did you start supporting Liverpool?
1994 when I was born.
Yeah, it was on the back of.
No, but how can he?
I think he was born into it. Yeah.
There's Mars' house, lad.
My mum literally
His Mars'
sold
house,
programs on a cop in the 70s. Like she's
And
from
Marie, lad.
Liverpool.
He can't
He
dictate.
could have chose Everton though.
But she was.
Why would you
given
choose Everton, lad?
Liverpool as well.
You're mad.
She was born, so that's just
Listen,
how it is.
he
Man.
can't dictate when he's born, can he?
Yeah. Oh, should have been. My dad should have met my mum a few years earlier. They were like, come on, man. But anyway, Dominic Solanke, it's a great finish. Celebrates right in front of the away fans. And Bournemouth, do you know what? Give them credit. Give these
absolutely.
guys some credit because at the start of the season, they were everyone's favourite to go down. They were talking about sacking the manager. They did that. Gary O'Neill comes in and has steadied the ship.
Yes.
Shout out to him because
Absolutely.
again, turning over
This would
trees
be
right
disastrous for Tottenham. Absolutely
sure.
disastrous. I mean,
massive for Bournemouth as well.
Massive for Bournemouth.
This would take them 6 points clear of the relegation zone. Let's have another look. Solanke holds the ball up, finds Tavernier. Very talented family, that Tavernier family.
Yeah.
And it's a great little striker's finish that is from Dominic Solanke.
Hold on. Do you mean to tell me he's related to the one at Rangers?
who was that? Who kicked it in the box?
They're brothers.
They look identical, lads.
I think they're. I don't think they're twins.
No, but he looked very.
Fulham have scored again.
Oh, Everton.
Daniel James, ex-Manchester United.
Yeah, they look
has
alike. I can
scored.
see the resemblance.
Wait, who's your brother?
Wow.
James Tavernier.
Rangers captain.
Oh,
He
okay.
scores like 20 goals a season.
Yeah.
By the way, Rangers have just conceded again at home to St Mirren. It's now 2-2. Mark O'Hara gets the goal, 65th minute. Stuttgart 3, Borussia Dortmund 3.
Oh my
Oh my word, it's going off.
It was 3-1, wasn't it?
Oh, it's a goal for Brighton away at Chelsea. Yeah. It's all going off. It's Julio Enciso. Vamos.
No way.
They deserve it.
Wow.
They've been battering us.
This is
absolutely
what
battering
a
us.
show
Good
this
game,
is
good
today, by
weekend
the
of football, this. And do you know why as well? Because Liverpool aren't playing.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Exactly. Apparently, James Tavernier missed the pen today for Swansea as well. But a couple of... So it's now finished, by the way, at Stuttgart. 3-3 it finishes there. It's the last kick of the game that's allowed
Tavernier for
Stuttgart
Swansea
to
or
get a
Rangers?
draw. But Tavernier for Rangers missed a penalty.
That's
So they're
what I like.
2-2 now.
He never
Swansea
misses.
won up at home to Huddersfield.
Yes.
And Everton won Fulham 3.
Oh my
Let's have a
gosh.
look at the Brighton
That
goal
was a
as
great goal.
Matoma
The top corner.
looks to cause some trouble. McAllister picks it up on the right.
Brighton team
Are
are
Brighton
bad.
going to sneak top 4? Are they actually going to sneak top 4?
If they did, that would be incredible.
This is fully
love to
deserved
see
though.
it,
Yeah, no, meritocracy and all that. I'm
So they could
all
win their
for
FA
it,
Cup.
lads.
They could win their
But
FA Cup.
wow, Brighton against Real Madrid, imagine that.
Let's
Well, they could win the FA Cup, couldn't they?
70 minutes gone in this Brighton Chelsea game now as well. So there's only 20 minutes
don't know
for
why
Chelsea
he's
to
doing
find 2 goals as Brighton smell blood here at the Bridge. And Reece James is also on. There was 4 hot subs at half time, by the way, for Chelsea. Reece James on, Kovacic on. Oh my word, what a strike.
Wow.
What a strike from, let's get his pronunciation right, Julio Enciso. Again, looks like another jewel that Brighton seems to
Reece
have
James is
in
just
South America.
Boy.
Wow.
What are you saying about him? Like he hasn't come back.
No,
He's not looking good.
Last few weeks
proper
looks
Chelsea,
a bit shaky.
Proper Chelsea.
But Brighton have absolutely battered us.
Wow.
Absolutely,
What a
absolutely battered
strike
us.
that was from the young
Crazy.
South American. Unbelievable strike. We've also got lineups in for Manchester City versus Leicester City. I'll read them out for you now. Edison, Walker, Diaz and Laporte at the back in a 3 for Man City. Surprising to see Kyle Walker back in the team.
Yes.
I mean, these guys just knock it up every week. They can play Akanji, they can play Ake. This week it's Walker. Stones and Rodri, the double pivot in midfield. Wow. For Manchester City. Mahrez, Grealish on the wings with Silva, De Bruyne and Haaland up front for City. For Leicester, it's Iverson in goal, Sutar, Soyuncu, Fais, Castagna and Christensen at wing-back position, Ndidi, Tielemans
Wilfried.
with Dewsbury Hall, Maddison and Vardy, who loves a game away at the Etihad.
He does.
Jamie Vardy scored a few times. Let's have another look at this strike from Enciso. It's taken no deflection and it rockets into the top corner. What a goal!
Don't say.
Goal. It rises the whole way.
The behind perspective of that goal.
That was still flying.
Oh, wow.
He should have never been allowed to get that shot off, though.
Wow.
That's
so much time and space to shoot. He looks like another baller, by the way. They seem to have found.
I don't know how Brighton do it.
They keep getting these ballers. I feel sorry for Liverpool this season. Super chat from General Moofs.
Thank you. We feel sorry for ourselves.
We feel sorry for ourselves.
So do I.
I echo that. For taking Potter off their hands.
Yeah. No, definitely.
What a goal from Brighton.
Did you pay out? Did you pay him, How much did you pay him?
Yeah. I think it was
15 or something.
I was going to say something around that.
Boy, they hustled you big time.
So you paid about 60-something mil to buy him and sack him.
Basically.
In about 8 months.
Essentially.
That's mad. And Liverpool can't afford to buy Jude Bellingham.
In the Championship, Millwall have just gone 2-0 up. Zian Fleming. Great name, that. 72 minutes. Millwall, again, they're looking to get back into the big time in the Premier League. Can they do it? Forest Green, 4-1 down at home to Barnsley.
Dunk has not
big
been
dunk
able
in the mud.
Yeah.
Big dunk in the mud.
One win.
He'll be tucking into a double cheeseburger tonight. At the vegan club, no doubt. And so what a strike that was. We're just seeing it again from behind. It's as pure as you like. So you can't get better than that strike in terms of no deflections. Head down, puts his laces right through it. It's a wonder strike from the wee man. What a goal. And Chelsea with 20 minutes to go, Semmy. It's not looking good, Fred.
Well, like I said at the start of the show, I thought we was going to lose. I thought it was going to be 2-1.
You did say 2-1 Brighton, didn't you, Dan?
I did say that, yeah. That was my prediction.
Yeah. It's a horror show of the season.
JB says,
more games left.
don't listen to Reece James. He thinks his sister is the best women's player in the world. Clearly, he doesn't watch women's football. Delusional.
Well, what did Reece say?
JB.
He said his sister was the best women's player
in the world.
Yeah, but
it's his brother.
Listen, what do you expect Reece to say? You're gonna say that even if it's not true, you're gonna pick up your sister. So I don't think there's nothing much in that.
Ty, you watch a lot of women's football.
I do.
How far off is his assessment of his sister? What do you make?
Well, I don't think she's the best player in the world, but she's very, very, very talented, and she carries on. She can do as well as her brother, if not better. She's a because she used to play with us.
Hopefully not how he's doing this season.
well, listen, when he's playing well, you know. No, she's a very talented player. We had us Arsenal women were very disappointed to lose her. Very, very talented player.
A couple of super chats. Rich again says Chelsea are now only 3 points ahead of Palace at this stage.
Yeah, well,
Mason Mount comes on for Zakaria at the bridge.
Well, let's just hint caution. The game isn't over yet.
Yeah, 20 minutes to go at the bridge. Another super chat. Yeah. If you're religious, give a prayer to poor Matisse. That's magical 40 points is so far.
It really is.
Says Garbo.
We can't seem to get it.
Big up Matisse. Like I said, the game isn't over yet.
It's
That's
not.
All I can say.
AGT, will Chelsea sack Fat Frank before the end of the season? Says
Frank
Martin, AFC
It's a bit harsh.
81.
Exactly. There's no point in that.
Should have had him in the first place.
It's his nickname. It is his nickname. To be fair, we have a song. We have a song that uses that song.
Has he ever been fat in his life?
But isn't that more? But wasn't that attributed more to his dad than him?
No, it was him because he was when we had him, he was quite chubby,
right?
And then obviously he left for Chelsea, and then we sing the 10 Men Couldn't Carry Lampard song.
Oh,
yeah,
fair play.
So
big fat Frank. Yeah.
So how do West Ham fans feel about him now? Do you still dislike him?
I personally don't. We interviewed his dad, and he explained a lot of what happened. So I don't, but a lot of West Ham fans still don't like him because when he went to Chelsea, the way he acted, the way he celebrated, the things he said,
Yeah.
I can understand it because he got a lot of stick from our fans when he was here. I don't know if you've ever seen the video.
Harry
Scotty
Redknapp.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Why
He'll go right
are
to
you
the top.
Scotty Cameron? He's gonna-
Yeah. I'm telling you now.
He's going to go right to the top.
You got to the very top.
Right to the very top. And he did, to be fair. Big up Harry Redknapp. Another super chat.
I see.
Coming in. I know it's the same one. Ty's the GOAT, says King Slayer.
Thank you very much. The greatest of all time of being lucky. Yeah, thank you very much, though.
AGT, nice comments you made on Arsenal fans last week, says Barfly Sports.
Yeah, thank you,
they deserved
AGT.
them.
Thank you.
Impeccably silent for that minute.
Well, and so should every fan
but
be.
I shouldn't even have to say that. That's
Exactly.
the point. That is the point, right?
So should every fan be.
Another goal for Ipswich, flying Ed Sheeran's
Yes.
team there. Freddie Ladapo. 70, good name that as well.
Another Nigerian.
Yeah, great name. 75 minutes in, Charlton in the
4-0.
mud. Are they
Yes.
still rivals with you a little bit? Charlton, have you got any love or hate?
Charlton. The only connection I've got with Charlton, we had, I think Pardew came from Charlton. We had Pardew, so
Kirbishley
Kirbishley as well, isn't it?
yeah, Kirbishley.
Yes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Yes,
Kirbishley. There was rumours about him coming back to West Ham.
He
He hasn't had a job since us.
Yeah, what happened to
We
him?
were
What
his
did he
last
do?
job.
What's he up to these
crazy.
days?
I mean, I think he's doing some punditry on some like foreign
Being sports or something.
Yeah,
like
one
that.
of them things.
Some sort of
But
sports
he was
channel
rumoured
available.
Other
to.
sports channels are available, of course.
I think he tried to sue us
Why?
because how we sacked him or something. Like we were his last job, and then he never worked since. So,
But he's a West Ham fan as well, isn't he?
yeah, he's a West Ham boy. Yeah. Shout out Alan Kirbishley if you're watching.
Andy in the comments saying, guys, you've got to watch that Enciso goal for Brighton. Absolute thunderbolt
we've seen
from
it.
distance. Some strike it was.
We have seen it.
Now it's Sunderland 2, Birmingham 1. Ahmad on the 75th minute, putting the Black Cats up against, what's the Birmingham nickname?
City,
It's
isn't they?
Blues.
Just go for the Blues,
Just Blues, isn't it? Pretty boring. Ours is the Reds, though, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Up the Reds.
So is ours sometimes.
Let's have a look at this week's episode of Best of Enemies. Expressions had a message for Arsenal fans on this latest episode. Let's have a look.
You Arsenal fans, blood. If you don't win this league, blood, I'm telling you, fam, and it's just whatever, I'm going to be having a sensational summer, blood. Me, Abby, KG, we will shine, blood. You know them way there. You're getting cooked, blood. I don't care, blood. You man don't win that league, Robert. Robert.
I know that's the life. That is the life of a Tottenham fan. All of his thing is based around what we do.
Joe Joyce, the Juggernaut versus Zile Zhang.
Someone's getting knocked out, as Eddie Hearn once famously said.
It goes down live Saturday, DR Sports Boxing.
Make sure you're there, man. We're going to be getting the beers out. We're going to be with the boys, having a great time. You do not want to miss it. Joyce, Zhang, put it in your calendar. Make sure you're there this Saturday on DR Sports because it's about to get tasty.
Make sure you check it out.
And we can react to that clip right now. Any words on that, Ty?
No. Expressions is cool as well. You know what I mean? I know expressions, so you know what I mean.
He's going to be cooking you though if you don't.
Listen. I won't talk about expressions because he's my homeboy. But if Tottenham fans think that they can cook us if we don't win the league, then I think they need to go back to 1960s when they last won the league. Because there's no way a Tottenham fan can cook us. Even if we were burning and roasted, they still couldn't cook us.
Spurs fans derive happiness
terms.
from Arsenal's failing, saying James.
Exactly. But like I said, I don't want to talk about expressions because expressions is cool. Expressions is cool. I like expressions.
Lord Ty wins that one then, I think.
I don't know about Lord. Lord have been lucky, but you know.
The Gooner, we soon will own the stadium, and just because we don't overcharge our fans does not make us a small club. We are a sleeping giant, saying Daniela. I think she's a Tottenham fan there.
It sounds like West Ham fan because you said we soon own our stadium. We're the only ones who don't own our stadium.
I actually didn't know you didn't own your stadium.
Yeah, we rent it. We got a 99-year lease.
It's Olympic Stadium.
99
You didn't pay much for it though, did you? That's the thing. So
well, yeah, we pay I think like $3 million a year or something rent.
That's not that bad.
I mean,
That's not bad at all.
leasing is
Could be
normal.
much
I didn't
more.
know that was a thing for football clubs.
yeah, because it was the Olympic Stadium, wasn't it?
Oh, right.
We tried to buy it,
the
but
councils,
Spurs and Leighton Orient complained.
Yeah, of course, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
With
of course.
Spurs and Leighton.
That's right, yeah.
Barry Hearn and Daniel Levy put in a complaint when we tried to buy it.
I remember,
and then we
yeah.
had to make a compromise and we go, we'll rent it.
The sleeping giant thing is one of them. No one's really going to want to go to Tottenham unless you give them a lot of wages because you just don't win anything. So I'm not disrespecting your club when I say that. It's just the reality of trying to allure players into your club. You have to offer them success. And if you don't do that, then they're not going to go to you, especially if they're getting offers from like United or Liverpool or Arsenal or whoever else.
They've been that nearly club for too long now. They're not a sleeping giant. They're just, honestly, they're comatose.
The reputation.
Football toast.
Yeah, like honestly, they're only going one way, and that's down after this season. Kane's going. I don't know. You're not going to get top 4. What manager's going to go there and work under those?
Well, I like this. So instead of Yaz, which is cover version, the only way is up, the only way is down.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
That's very, very good. That's the cover version, Alex. Do you know that?
It is.
What's the cover version? The only way is up by
Essex,
Yaz. It's an actual cover version.
Stoke have now gone behind at home to West Brom. Jason Malumbi on the 69th minute, putting the Baggies 2-1 up against the Potters.
Tyres loves to see that. I'm sure you ain't got no love for Stoke. I'm sure you're enjoying what they're doing.
No. Absolutely. Well, when I say that, listen, I don't have no love for Stoke Football Club, but I have love for Tyrese Campbell, who is the son of Kevin Campbell.
Yeah,
I got love for him, and the thing is, and the reason why I don't have love for Stoke is the whole thing with Aaron. You know, I was there when Aaron broke his leg. Yeah, when Shawcross broke his leg, and the Stoke fans were laughing. They were
singing about it, making songs.
Until Seth scored a penalty. That's when they shut up. And we're talking, obviously it's a different thing, but we're talking, that might not be the tragedy of Hillsborough, but it's still a tragedy if any player breaks their leg. How can you mock them? On the street, if someone breaks their leg, you're not going to be laughing at them. You're going to call. You're going to try and help them.
Leeds fans did the same to Harvey Elliott, saying he'd never walk again.
But this is what I mean.
Like that.
And if I can remember, I think Alan Smith broke his leg at Anfield, and the cop applauded him off.
Yeah.
So so that's what I mean. So where does it stand?
The cop applauded for Ronaldo when he had a miscarriage. You know, that's classy fans.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
So can we just talk about that? That Smith leg break was from a recess shot.
Kick. It's from a free kick.
From a shot that hit him and broke his leg.
That's how hard
the shots are, lad.
Crazy. Rangers have scored, by the way, with 10 minutes to go. They're up again at home to St Mirren, and Yeovil have equalised. Up the Glovers. 7 minutes to go. Away at Solihull Moors.
Has anyone been to Herish Park?
Me. My dad used to play for Yeovil.
That's why I like
Rangers
have scored again, actually.
Rangers just scored again.
I went to Herish Park.
Yeah.
In 92-93 when we won the cup. We won 3-1. Ian scored a hat-trick. I went.
Loved that.
The only time was brilliant. They had before the game, they had a procession. It was brilliant.
Yeah, they actually used to be alongside Barnet, the two grounds that had the slopes.
The slope, that's right. Yeah, brilliant. It was brilliant going to Herish Park.
My dad played on the slopes. That's where he scored his goals. Number 9 up top. Yeah, man.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
It's 2-2 Yeovil now away at Solihull. But in as I said, in the Scottish Premier League, Rangers are now 4-2 up. So they should now go on to win that game. Gutted I missed the show today, AGT. Glad to see Super Frank's Chelsea struggling for 40 points, saying into your nan. Big up. Great name. Great name. He's always around, isn't he? Yeah. London Nomads. Since UK Athletics might be leaving London Stadium, can you redesign the seating? That's a good question.
Yeah, they've been squaring some of the stands behind the goals off, pushing it forward. So yeah, once that goes, I mean, my seat, I'm on scaffolding. It's temporary seating, yeah. So they have to dismantle all the seating around on the running track and then have the athletics, then build it all again from scratch. It costs them like 3 million a season now.
Wow.
Used to cost them 10 million a season. Wow. Hemorrhaging money.
Wow. AGT, can I ask you, does Ty sleep in that attire, says Maham?
Well, you can ask me. I am here. It is me. It is me. No, I don't sleep in this attire.
Have you got Arsenal pyjamas though?
No. I'm going to ask
boxer pants,
boxer shorts. Yeah.
Socks.
Yes, absolutely.
Toothbrush.
No. They used to sell it. I don't think they sold it before.
Napkins. Sorry, napkins.
No.
You must be the easiest to buy for, like on your birthday, everything. Like,
get them.
Go to the Arsenal club shop.
Case.
The only problem is though, you go, has he got it already? That's the thing, isn't it?
No, take it back and swap it for something else. No, Spurs and West Ham are the only teams who don't own their home ground.
Wait, Spurs don't own their ground?
Yeah, no, they don't. That's what the woman said, isn't it? They're trying to buy it, aren't they?
I thought
I
they owned it as well.
I did as well.
I thought if you build it, surely you own it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because obviously West Ham didn't build their stadium.
No, that's right. That's what
I thought anyway.
It's just what we rent a ready-made stadium, but they had it built, so if they don't own it.
I'll tell you what, I've got to read this comment out from Barfly Sports. I think he's saying AGT fully paid invite to Las Vegas to the official supporters club at McMullins.
Like Liverpool, yeah.
If you're saying that you will pay for me to fly out to Las Vegas, forget him. It's cheaper.
Me as well,
just one person. If you want to fly me out to Vegas to get pissed up in a supporters club, I'm there, mate. Let's go. Book the flights. DM me, in fact. Big up to you. Doyle can come as well.
Yeah, please.
If there's space. If there's not, I'm happy to go.
It's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker.
Oh, God. He's probably got Arsenal toilet paper saying Crunk King 3 2 3 2.
Don't think
You wouldn't use that paper.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, yeah.
No! What? Like I said, why would I have Tottenham toilet paper?
Does Ty have a cardboard cutout of Wenger saying Yahaberg?
No. But I've got a cardboard cutout of your loser team, whoever that is. Just kidding.
Okay.
What if it's an Arsenal fan? It could be an Arsenal fan.
Well, if it's a Gooner, then obviously I apologise.
I apologise.
I'm only kidding. No, I don't have a cardboard cutout of him.
John Gibbons, this is a great one. Eddie Hearn alert. Put on the Willesden Warrior and Ty the Tiger for a fight.
That whole
Well, I hope you mean verbally.
No, physically, I think.
No,
if Eddie Hearn's involved, then it's definitely a physical fight.
For the money, for the like, say, maybe a good payout for having
really good payout.
Do you not want some, Tyno?
I can't box.
All these KSIs and all of these who couldn't box before learned it and made big money.
I know.
Lad, I've seen that video of you boxing that punching bag, lad. You know
that was only in the gym. I said, no. Listen. I hope the money they're getting is worth it, but you know. If I'm honest and I speak candidly, I don't want to put my family through that because God forbid anything can happen. I hope it doesn't. But anything can happen. I mean, you know, he's a big boxer.
With that attitude, yeah.
No, I'm just. I'm saying. I know.
Lordy91 says Ty wouldn't fight because it could be raining.
Yes, absolutely. It could be, and it's probably raining on your team. That's why they're at the bottom.
Mahad says I was behind Ty at Selhurst Park on MW1. I don't know what that means. And when he said we'd win the league, he got laughed at. They're not laughing anymore, says Mahad.
Did I say we could? I don't think.
Match week one.
Match week one. Sorry, yeah. He was behind you at Selhurst Park.
Oh, I didn't say we can win. Well, listen. I would like to say I thought we could win the league, but I never said that. I said if we get top four, we'll be happy. So I never said
with the super chat. Can't wait for Ty's tears when Arsenal bottle it. Ty versus Hasbulla as well from Knights.
And tell me your team is. And if we win, what will you say then? Listen, whatever you say, you can't listen. You can't rattle us. You can't. I'm amazed that you're trying, but you can't rattle us.
Obviously, obviously you can't do it, lads. Obviously.
Though, shall we?
No, the thing, Alex and Doyle are cool, but the fans out there, you can't rattle, and you should know you can never rattle me because when I turn up to a game, I'm always confident. Listen, we don't underestimate anybody. We don't underestimate West Ham. Listen, I was quoted as saying, I think we'll beat West Ham after the break. But you don't underestimate West Ham.
Ty, they're saying you're already rattled.
I'm not rattled. You're rattled, calling me rattled. Man City are rattled. Akanji's rattled. Haaland's rattled.
I don't suck, you suck.
Do you know what? Everybody need a tie for their team, don't they?
And a AGT.
Next time I go
to Renton and a Semmy.
When I go to Anfield, I want a tie. A Scouse tie, please. Can you sit next to me?
Oh, no, we've got one. He's called Rory.
Oh, yeah.
We've got one. We're still winning the league, Alex. We're ninth, mate. We're still in the Champions League, Alex. No, we're out of that, mate.
A lot of people have been calling me the West Ham
He
Ty
calls
on
himself the Scouse Ty.
Oh, is it?
But he's a good lad. You'd like him. He's a very, very nice guy.
What's that, Renton? Sorry? What did you say, sorry?
No, I was saying a lot of people have been calling me the West Ham Ty on Matisse's show.
Oh,
because
really?
I have to fight my team. I'm always in a situation where I have to fight for my team. Because they're always trying to shut my team.
Absolutely. And that's what I get all the time. Exactly. It's nice when you can defend
tell
your
them
team.
Uncle Ty. Says Denzel. Ty the Magician says Pep.
The Magician would be lucky, I think.
AGT set up a Rory versus Ty debate. Yahaberg. That would be incredible. That really would be unbelievable. Rory was actually on the fan cams for AFTV after the game.
Oh, really? Okay.
Enoch owns Spurs' stadium separately from
That's
them.
right,
so
yes.
if they sell Spurs, the new owner would have to pay for that as well.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Ty is a national treasure, says Ben L.
Oh, thank you. National treasure being lucky, but thank you very much.
Cheers, Ty.
Cheers to you as well.
Arsenal losing the league now thanks to you, says Lordy.
Well, listen, I don't know who you're going to support, but cheers, we're top of the table, mate. So is that wrong?
Ty got that dog in him.
And also losing the league means you have something. We have nothing yet, do we? So there's nothing to lose, isn't it? There's everything to gain, nothing to lose.
AGT, I hope you know you are officially shopping in Aldi, Bellingham or Rice or Caicedo. You're having a laugh, says Mahad. There's nothing wrong with Aldi.
Why? Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You get some great deals in there.
You do that, and it's much cheaper as well, actually. So
I was in Aldi, I should say, during uni once, and you know, like they've got this aisle where there's just random shit there.
Yeah.
So one time I was like, all right, got my tuna tin, got my milk, an axe. Yeah, they're great. That's just what I wanted. There was an axe there.
Oh yeah, Lidl is the same.
Fully like a
just sort of random
like a
stuff.
big one.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Obviously, other stores are available.
you can also buy your wardrobe there. So they've got shoes,
Got everything.
clothes, all of that stuff.
They've got everything.
Got Arsenal tracksuits.
They want to sponsor DR Sports.
Yeah.
Send an email.
No, Lidl just got in touch. Actually, we're offering more money.
Send us them black Quinta Buenos you're on it. They're boss them. I can't remember what they call it. But they're
ones,
the black ones. They do everything black, but it's boss.
Phil Brown or Neil Morpay, says S. Grizz.
Neither.
No, you've got to pick one.
Gosh.
Because I know you hate both.
Oh my God! If I have to pick one, it's probably Neil Morpay, because Phil Brown's a failure in everything.
But
Football.
you did say he's a cheat. He's a disgrace. You wanted him to
you know
get
what,
rid of him.
Absolutely, and Phil Brown is 100 times that.
Do you know what though? Neil Morpay made your club, because without him, lad, you wouldn't have Alan Ramsdale playing for your team right
actually true. You should thank Morpay.
He actually set you up for success.
If you can just look down that camera and say Neil Morpay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
You want me to stand up? You want me to stand
Please.
up?
Why not?
He's going to do it.
So what do you want me to say?
Just say, Neil Morpay, thank you for transforming Arsenal's fortunes. We bought Aaron Ramsdale because you injured Leno, and thank you. I love you. Why not?
I love you.
Thank you, Neil Morpay, to being the biggest disgrace of football ever.
Wow,
Not quite what I said, but
We knew that was I knew that was coming, lad.
Ty is a bigger Arsenal legend than Thierry Henry, says Stephen.
Listen, I wish that was. I wish that was true. I wish that was true, but I definitely. Thierry is the GOAT.
How long have you been going to away games now at Arsenal?
Since 92, 93, amazingly.
When I was born. I was born then, Ty.
Wow, yeah.
Which is one of my first ever football match I went to.
I think you told me, but go on, tell me again.
At Highbury, Arsenal, Liverpool in 2001. My dad took me. First game I ever went to.
2001, 2002.
It was actually February 2002. It was 1-0. Risa scored for us.
That's when Freddie
Great
scored.
finish. Great ball
when
from
you had the
Gerrard.
freedom of Highbury.
Yes.
We won the league that season.
Yeah.
It's a very good question. What were your first games, lads?
First game, not too long ago, you know.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Typical Chelsea.
I'm quite young, so.
How old are you?
24, 25.
You're not young, lad.
That's not young.
You got plenty.
I weren't born when you guys were going to football games. Put it that way. When he was going to
I'm
football
only
games.
6 years older, lad. Do you know what I mean? So
When Ty was going
Well, he just said his first game was 2001. You were born.
No, I was talking about Ty and...
No, you were looking at me when you said that, to be fair.
Scottish Green Rovers have been relegated.
Relegation. Unlucky. Big
My
dump.
first football game was actually the Emirates, actually. I went to Brazil versus Chile.
Brazil versus Chile.
But Chelsea game.
My first Chelsea game was against Porto in 2015.
Okay.
In the Champions League under Mourinho. We won 2-0.
I don't know how you lot remember your first game. Like, I don't. It was like Ipswich in the cup or something like that in like 2000 or something like that.
That is true. I got brought to games when I was a kid. I remember watching Robbie Fowler, but I can't remember anything around the game because I was about 5 years old. Yeah. But the game I do remember going to very, very vividly was Liverpool v Tottenham, and when Modric was playing for them and he scored.
Oh yeah.
2012. That was the last time they beat us.
Scream at that. I remember that one.
Maybe you should go to games.
Was that White Hart Lane? I thought.
No, it was at Anfield.
It was our first loss.
Volley.
First loss against them. So
it was like, so I must have been about 14 then or something.
Oh, right.
But I've been to games before that. That's the one I vividly remember though, because of that goal. Wow.
City Stadium owned by the Manchester City Council, saying Damien with the super chat.
What about you, Alex? What about your first game?
The Arsenal game.
Oh, you did say.
The first one at Anfield, I remember. I think we played as a Champions League game. It was a Tuesday night. I don't know how I managed to get up and get back down for school the next day, but I think it was Celta Vigo in '98, and they beat us 2-0. It's horrible. Oh my word! Celta Vigo. We lost 2-0. Let me just double check the actual date because I was about 4 when I did this. 0-2 Celta Vigo. I'm pretty sure it was then.
Did you get 1998, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. December the 8th, 1990. We lost 1-0. But I was there at that game.
I know my first game was Kids for a Quid we used to do, so you could bring a kid.
That team that I watched, by the way, David James in goal, Steve Staunton, Phil Babb, Carragher, Matteo and McAteer as wing-backs, Gerrard, Thompson, Berger with Owen and Fowler up front, and we lost.
David Thompson.
Yeah, good player, man.
He was a
really
good
player back in the day. I thought he was going to be the next Scouse King, but not to be.
Nope.
Right, a couple of full times to update you on. We've only got around a minute left here at Chelsea. It's looking very desperate for Frank and his Blues.
Yep, Mudryk is just shooting
Everton
from
1, Fulham 3 is still the score that we're getting from Goodison Park. Yeovil have got a point there. Swansea have beaten Huddersfield 1-0. Sunderland have won 2-1 at home to Birmingham. Tottenham still trailing at home. That has to be finished any minute now, surely.
Tottenham
at home.
they started 15
Oh, sure they did.
yeah.
So there's about 10 minutes left on that one, maybe.
15 left.
Chelsea are, as we know, still trailing at home to Chelsea reserves. And Southampton 0, Crystal Palace 2. That one has finished. It's a 2-0 away win. Also a 2-0 home win for Wolves against Brentford. I did not expect that, if I'm really honest with you. I did say 1-0
Oh yeah,
to
we all
Wolves,
said
actually.
Brentford, didn't? Oh no,
I went for Brentford, mate.
I said draw.
I said 1-0 Wolves.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect that.
Yeah, I've actually got a few right today. Can't lie.
I tell you what, Wolves and Bournemouth look like they're pulling out form, don't they?
Yeah, the right time as
Pulling
well.
themselves out, yeah.
Big free kick for Spurs on the edge of the area.
I didn't say mine.
Free kicks.
Mine was 1978.
Was that Pedro, Porro and
When
Perisic?
Liverpool were European champions.
Yes, absolutely. I think we played Leicester. I think we played Leicester City and we won 1-0. Alan Sunderland scored, and I was shouting so much. I fell asleep. I didn't watch it. My dad told me that you could hear me shouting on the TV. I tied myself out because I was going so mad. It was amazing.
Okay,
9-7. My dad, God rest his soul, and my twin brother.
God rest his soul, for sure, man.
As in, that's the first match you went to.
That's the first one I went to. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what VAR are reviewing at Tottenham.
Ipswich 6-0 winners, by the way, at home to Charlton.
What?
Rangers won 5-2 in the end, by the way. Not 4-2. It's
play
full time at Stamford Bridge. It's full time at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have lost again under Frank Lampard.
XG.
2 games, 2 losses. XG 0.6 for Chelsea, 2.11 for Brighton. Semmy, what are your thoughts on yet another defeat for Chelsea this season? Still haven't got those 40 points.
Well, I expected it. This is Frank. This is Frank's teams. Concede a lot of shots. Not very good going forward. Yeah.
Wow, that's it. Conceding lots of shots and not good going forward.
That is literally
the worst thing you want in the team.
That is literally Frank Lampard's teams to a T. And yeah, I'm not surprised. It could get real. It could get worse than this.
Ooh. Do you think it was all for he's just looking to Tuesday, looking to Real Madrid, and that's where you're going to shine? You can have a historic night.
Absolutely not. No
chance.
I don't think
no
so.
chance.
It can happen, but I don't think. Listen, anything can happen.
Let's have a look at this VAR. There's an elbow from, is it Lerma on Romero?
Anything that happens to Romero, I'll never trust it ever. That guy is the dark arts king, lad.
Yeah, he's done that to a few people.
Every game is at full time now. We've got Everton at full time, and the only game playing is Tottenham and Bournemouth, which has currently got about 8 minutes left.
That is a horrific loss for Everton because this is, like we were saying, home games are key for them. Really tough running.
Get them down, mate.
And Fulham have been in awful form. That is one of their most winnable games.
Do you know what? The way it's going right now, I can see a big name going down. A West Ham, a
Southampton,
Everton, a Leicester. Like Bournemouth are pulling themselves out.
Is it possible Chelsea get sucked into it?
Chelsea? No.
If you lose like every game from now to the end of the
that's
season,
what's happening.
Even so, it's no.
Since the Arsenal versus Man City
it's my own little paranoia, but we just keep losing. And the games for the rest of the season, none of them.
Is
there
any way that you can? I know he's interim till the end of the season, but is there any way that he gets sacked again?
I knew you could say
no.
That would be.
I don't think that
would be the most embarrassing.
Yeah,
of all
but
time,
I think the board. I think number one, I don't think the board would want to do that to themselves in terms of how they would look, and I don't think they'd do that to Frank. But
3 managers in 1 season.
But one thing I will say is that results-wise, like it could very much go away where it's justifiable that he goes.
But what's the point? Like,
but what is the point? Yeah, I agree.
like if you're going to be safe,
point.
say you get one more win or you get a few more draws where you're safe. You're not going down. We know you're not.
There's no point.
Europe.
Yeah, there is no point.
Like
you've deliberately brought him in just to stay there until the end of the season, regardless of how you do.
But for me,
that's the whole point.
my issue is bringing him in the first place. I think that's a terrible decision.
I don't think as an interim because really it don't make sense trying to get permanent.
It is that. Nagelsmann said he wanted a summer to relax, and that's what they're waiting for right now.
Pellegrini.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, surely there was I'm not too clued up on interims on who could have taken it for
Why don't you
like 10
just keep
games.
Potter to the end of the season at least, and then sack him, because then you've got a little bit less compo to
I think the idea behind it was probably obviously
Intent.
Yeah, and like the atmosphere and the whole culture around Chelsea this season had got very stale. So I think the whole idea of bringing back Lampard, who's a legend and a fan favorite, to try and lift that, and hopefully that would get the team through. But
it's going to hurt his legacy even more.
Yeah, and we all know. And also, it's kind of, I think they were saying this before, it's kind of a free hit for Lampard because he hasn't really got anything to lose.
Yeah, it feels like to me like they've had a chat with Julian Nagelsmann and they went, yeah, I'll come and join you, no problem. And then it's been all going well and whatever else, so they're like, signed, we'll show some intent by sacking Graham Potter to say, this is what we want you, lad. And then he's come back after another conversation and said, but I do want the summer off so I can relax, lad. And now they've went, okay, we'll give you that time. We'll give you that time and bring Frank in.
I think you made a good point about intent, because I think if what you said, if
So I'm just trying to call Matisse, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Try and get all the FUAD for us as well, please, lad. That'd be great.
Hello? Is that Matisse?
There's no way you're ringing me, bro.
Well, I think there is, and I am. And you've lost again, and it's still not 40 points, the magic mark to stay up. Thoughts, mate? At least he's laughing, do you know what I mean? You don't have to worry about him. He can just laugh.
Unlucky, Matisse.
Definitely not.
Ty just says unlucky.
It wasn't.
If that is any consolation.
It wasn't.
You deserve to lose.
He's got. Do you know what? I feel bad actually, because Matisse isn't that guy to be calling.
Exactly.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Matisse is cool.
I got pressured by production there to call you. I'm sorry, Matisse. You know I love you. You know you're my bro, but your team is shit. And no, it's actually Ryan, Jason's little minion.
I like you. You're a nice person, but your team is shit.
Your team is shit, unfortunately. But there you go, brother. Good luck and
good luck.
Hope you stay up.
What time we streaming Monday? What time's the show, Matt? What time we recording?
Dan says what time we streaming on Monday.
Same time as always, brother.
Same time as always, he says.
Let's bring it forward, man.
He said, let's bring it forward. But anyway, we'll tune into that one for sure. A round of applause for Matisse for being a good sport. It's just a shame his team can't match him. Anyway, cheers, mate. Enjoy your stream. Take care, mate. Like, comment, and subscribe to Matisse. Take care, mate.
He deserves it. He called me when I was in the stadium after 5-1 Newcastle.
Okay.
Yeah, he rang me
who's
up.
come on for Tottenham?
Richie lad.
Go on, Richie lad.
The most expensive shithouse ever.
Yep.
He was good in the World Cup though, I thought.
Awful.
Yeah, he was.
Brilliant goals in the World Cup.
I was at that game where he scored those 2 goals, and I just
FUAD
went,
shamelessly was calling him R9.
Yeah, I know.
The real R9. All of this.
oh, he just had a goal disallowed for offside.
lovely.
Has
Fantastic.
Richarlison.
It was crap anyway. Ah!
Oh, Tottenham have equalised. Tottenham have equalised, people. Let's have a look to see who's equalised for them. I'll read out a couple of super chats.
Dan Juma
has
First goal
scored
for
an
Tottenham.
equaliser for Tottenham. We'll bring you our thoughts on that goal just after these super chats. Ahmad saying, Todd Bowley, the worst thing to happen to Chelsea. Now I'm complaining. It's crazy, says Jay Mons. The only reason Chelsea aren't in a relegation battle is because of the points that Tuchel was able to get.
It is that?
No, it's true. It's true.
3 losses in 3 for Lampard. AGT call Abbey. No point now. It's 2-2.
Yeah. I mean, it's still 2-2 at home against the relegation team, so it's not a great result, but still.
We did beat them 9-0 at home, but we did lose 1-0 away, unfortunately. But it's Arnat down Juma, 88th minute. Is there even time now for Tottenham to sneak a win here?
I bet they'll give him like 8 minutes added time or some crap.
They've done
long throw from Perisic there.
Comes out. Oh, it's deflected and it goes in from Dan Juma. And Richarlison gets his hands on the keeper for kicking it away.
Lucky.
And Dan Juma rattling up the crowd, trying to get them going for the last 5 minutes with injury time.
Review.
I just...
Oh, VAR review!
Come on.
Take this goal off them, lad!
Oh, please.
It's a VAR review.
Injected.
Do you know what's mad, right? When Liverpool were doing really well, I never understood.
Let's have a look. Is it offside? It's flicked on from Richarlison.
Yes,
Kane's in an offside position.
He's blocking the keeper's view as well.
Yeah.
That'll get
That's offside.
cancelled, I think.
Whoa, this is
Well, to be fair,
Look at him.
He wasn't actually in line with the goalkeeper, to be fair.
He's offside though.
No, but look at where the ball is. Look at the ball coming round.
Apparently I'm hearing it's been given.
Yeah, I think it has.
I think the goal has been given.
Yeah, he wasn't in line with the keeper. I don't think that's offside, because he actually didn't interfere. Because the keeper could still see the ball.
I think it's I don't know, he moves out of the way of the ball last minute.
Nah, it's been given this. Definitely.
I think goal is given at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. When are they going to change their name, by the way?
Honestly.
Of the stadium to something that
I thought it was New White Hart Lane. I thought that's what it was.
Was it? New White Hart Lane. Oh, there's a slight deflection on that strike, by the way. There's a very. If you watch here, no, the Bournemouth player. Look,
That's probably what saves it.
Yeah, it was given.
deflection.
Yeah, it's given. Goal given. Is there again time for Tottenham? Dan Juma, first goal for the club. Trying to rally up the fans here
Does
and give
it
them a
wind
last
you guys
push.
up when players do that? I've spoken to a lot of fans and we see it, and it gets
Happened
to me
at Anfield last week a lot.
It's kind of annoying when players are doing that.
Is it almost like
what for your team or against your
I
team?
don't think it's like they're trying to say to you, come on, be louder, sing and all of that, and it's like, well, just worry about doing your job.
No.
Don't tell us how to do our job.
You mean on your team?
Tandem. They're both in tandem. If you're going to cheer and jeer the players, they can do the same back to you.
For
There's not a
instance,
problem
Dan,
with that.
let me give you this for an instance, right? I'm hearing at half-time today, Davison Sanchez came on in the 35th minute for Tottenham today. 38th minute, Bournemouth score. 51st minute, Bournemouth score again. 59th minute, he gets subbed off and then booed off the pitch.
Wow.
Today, the Colombian. So
Is this so?
he was on for a total of 25 minutes, conceded 2 and got subbed off as an already subbed on player.
Wow. Sanchez, there you go.
It's like Xhaka all over again.
Could he have the comeback?
It's like a Boué all over again when you booed him.
Oh, corner. Look, 6 added minutes. Spurs are just going to go for it now.
Well,
they have to go for it, mate.
They're not the
6 added minutes for Tottenham.
Get it out.
They're not the only other.
Bournemouth
Was
will
it Bournemouth
do
that they won
everything
against
now
last
to
time when it
hold
was
on
3-2?
here.
Yes,
It was, wasn't it? And he scored in the last minute or something.
Yeah, but I hope that doesn't happen today.
Bournemouth
Yeah,
showing
but,
a lot of fight in North London this season for sure.
Oh, you got Leeds Monday for Liverpool. At Leeds.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That season's over, lad.
Let's have a little preview of that then.
What do you want to talk about that, lad? That season's
Diaz
done.
back.
Great.
Thiago
Wonderful.
will start the game.
Sound. We'll get 3 points for nothing.
Your season's done. Let me see
Season's
this
done,
table.
lad.
Mathematically, it is still possible.
done, lad.
What do you think the
Season's
actual
done.
percent of getting top 4 is?
You ain't getting
3%.
3%.
You wouldn't take Europa League?
No.
I would take Europa.
I don't want it,
It's
lad.
another.
For the Cop TV sake, because then I could go and travel to some cool places.
Yeah, it's great. It's some good away journeys, and it's another option for top 4. If you're not getting your signings next season, you're not going to be good enough. You're going to be.
I think Europa League's improving, personally.
It is, but also it's embarrassing to go from Champions League finals, 3 of them in the last 5 years,
Yeah,
then
look
to
at
Europa
Barca,
League.
like,
That's
look
true.
at them.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
could
and they're
get
embarrassing,
Conference
lad.
League. You're only 1
They're going
point
to win
off.
La Liga though.
Yeah, fair play to them. Yeah, fair play.
It's mad, right? United can knock out Barca, but they can draw at home to the 13th place team in La Liga.
It's mad.
Is that a penalty?
And then Barca can beat Real Madrid, but Real Madrid
Can't beat Barca,
Yeah. Just madness how football works, lad.
Just for the last kind of 3 minutes of this Tottenham game before we end up today, I wanted to run this little debate for you guys in the chat. And today we're talking about players whose careers were ruined by injury. All right, I'm going to throw a couple at you. I've got 30 names. I've got Ronaldo, original Ronaldo, Michael Owen, Papa Suarez, who Crystal Palace, he broke his jaw. Jonathan Woodgate, that's a good shout. Eric Bailey, this is 90min.com, by the way. This is their top 30. David Booth, do you remember that? Oh my God, that's the worst leg break I've ever seen in my life.
It was so terrible. They couldn't
It was so bad. Do you remember that? Man City versus, was it Man United? No, it was Coventry, Man United, wasn't it? That was
awful.
He I don't think he had to learn how to walk again. Robbie Fowler.
Yeah.
Yes.
Daniel Sturridge.
Yes. He was my number 1 pick. Daniel Sturridge was.
Danny Welbeck. Theo Walcott.
Yes.
How am I not
Stefan
hearing Dean
Jovetic.
Ashton yet?
We're getting to the lowers. This is 18th
Dean
out of
Ashton,
30 at the minute. Louis Saha. Felipe Coutinho for Barca.
No, he just moved at the wrong time.
Micah Richards. Jack Rodwell. That's up there. Santi Cazorla, 100%.
Santi, yeah.
Poor man.
Abu Diaby. What a player he could have
that's what I was
been.
going to mention.
What a player he could have been.
Yeah.
Thomas Vermaelen. Dean Ashton, number 11.
I think it's good.
Oh my God! Yeah! Oh my goodness me! And this is why you do not go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Wow! Just as we were rattling through. injured players.
You can't see me.
Utuara.
Brilliant.
And they probably would.
Utuara scored in the 95th minute for the Cherries. I'll tell you what,
FUAD,
they were
why
late
are you
getting
not
into the
here?
ground, and they were late winning it, leaving the ground as well today, the Cherries.
My God. It was all Spurs. It was
Oh my
FUAD,
God.
lad, why are you not here right now, lads?
But this is why beating them was no mean feat. Because we had to come back from 2-0 and win the game.
And again, let's just throw more praise onto Bournemouth for how they've dealt with this. They've gone behind in the game, and it's Dominic Solanke finds Arutara. What a goal! What a goal!
Sent him the shot, lad.
What a goal!
Sent him the shot.
Man like Django, what a finish.
What a finish.
What a finish.
Wow.
It's finished at Stoke. It's West Brom 2, Stoke 1, but we're still reacting to this.
Bournemouth
win.
Gary O'Neill.
I love that.
And you're a muppet as well, lad.
You're a helmet as
Gary O'Neill knows what it means. He's ex-West Ham.
He is
We're taking it. Yes, former West Ham player.
Former West Ham, yeah.
Ex-Liverpool reserve manager as well.
FUAD, you're lucky you're not here today with me, lad. You know,
boy.
You lucky fella.
Getting cooked right now.
In fact, has anyone got his number? Can we call him right now?
I'll call him
please.
I'll call him right now.
I don't know. I don't think he's even going to answer. His phone might have been
I would not answer if I was
You watching FUAD? Because I don't know if you're watching right now, lad. Answer the phone, bruv.
It's ringing. It's ringing. Let's put it to the mic. I'm not going to call Abby. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to call FUAD because he's the one that chats the most shit.
Yeah, I think he's been resigned to.
Yeah. It's a no-show. It's a no-show. It's a no-show from FUAD. He's got a lot to say. When it... Well, should we leave him a voicemail? Yeah? Well, yeah, go then. I'm just going to give you the phone.
You record your message, key hash at any time.
Hey, what's happening, FUAD? Do you remember when you were doing the City stream and that? Look at your team now, lad! Getting smoked by the Cherries. Next time I see you, I'm going to go to the shop for you, lad. Might be the Morrisons or something. Don't know, lad. But I'm going to pick you up a nice pack of cherries, lad, okay? You little muppet.
Oh, yeah, we need to bring the cherry Coke back. Get the cherry Cokes out.
To be fair, and it's full time. It's full time.
Wow.
Tottenham have lost at home.
Oh my God.
Bournemouth.
These relegation games, like playing these teams at this point in the
easy
season,
feat,
is
man,
such dangerous fixtures.
This
And I was gonna, and to be fair,
even better.
I was gonna actually say that when you was talking about West Ham and Arsenal, because that is one thing that comes in. Playing these teams that are near the bottom of the table at this stage of the season, it's so difficult.
That could be your fate. You could be watching your future time.
Straight to voicemail.
It's the battle of wills, lad.
That could never be our future.
It's the battle of wills.
But I love Ty's confidence. I love it.
Yeah, same.
I absolutely love it.
No, but let's just be honest. Spurs are shit.
Yeah, we can all agree on that.
Let's just be real.
Tell us something we don't know in football.
They are shit.
We all agree on that.
Diallo says, Django, the streets in Burkina Faso are lit. That's where he's from
well
right
done,
now.
well done.
Expressions went straight to voicemail, and as you saw, we left a voicemail for FUAD.
Game of the day so far.
Well done to the Cherries. What a result that is.
Amazing,
The last gasp
result.
win. Gary O'Neill and his lads come away after being late into the ground. They win.
All I can say is I'm glad it didn't happen to us, because that could have happened to us.
Any Bournemouth fans in the chat? Well done, La.
Well done, Bournemouth.
Yo, Ty, why don't you wear the famous headphones anymore? And big up AGT and Doyle, says Ozan.
Because they're broken. That's why. I couldn't get a replacement.
When's your birthday?
lad. There
My
you go.
birthday was 24th of March.
Same as my girlfriend.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Same as Tegan.
Well. Could have been getting married to Ty instead, lad.
She could have been, but she's not. She's getting married to Anna.
No. Relax yourself, big man. He wasn't talking about that. He was talking about me and you getting married, blood.
Oh, no, not really.
Yeah, you have to think about it.
No.
He's gorgeous.
You have to think.
No.
Yeah, just get my girlfriend out your head. Unbelievable. Perfect game to show Arsenal. Light years ahead of Spurs, saying London Nomad. Mr. Steal Your Girl Ty says DMYG.
I would never do that.
Yeah, he wouldn't. You wouldn't hate you.
That takes Bournemouth all the way to 14th.
Can you imagine?
14th.
Mate, this has been
6
a
points
wild
away.
Saturday football show.
It has
We're
been
going to
wild.
wrap it up there because it's not going to get any better than this, is it? Tottenham choke Spurs, says Hector R in the chat. Massive shout out to Semmy for coming on the show today.
Well done, lad, on your debut.
Thanks.
Unlucky for your result, like.
Big shout out to a man like Dan Lawless inside. Covered himself with water at the end as well.
This
we love to see it. We love to see it. Big up to D-Man Doyle inside.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you very much for your contribution today. A massive, massive shout out to the star of the show today, the man of the match, I think.
Yeah.
Lord Ty.
Thank you very much. I think Lord, being lucky, thank you to DR Sports for inviting me. And obviously we've got to give
the invite is never
big man here.
AGT
Thank you.
The host.
Appreciate it.
Promoted Leighton Orient. Big up the O's,
Into League One, are they now?
Yeah.
Big up, Leighton Orient, man. That's who Dan will be supporting next season, probably. Right, it's been a great
East London
show.
derby.
Massive shout out to you guys,
yeah,
especially who've been watching at home. Your comments,
you
your super chats, your subscriptions are very much appreciated. And just before we go again, once again, 34 years ago today, we lost 97 fans at a football match at Hillsborough. Gone but never forgotten. Justice for the 97.
Absolutely.
Joe Joyce, the Juggernaut versus Zile Zhang.
Someone's getting knocked out, as Eddie Hearn once famously said.
It goes down live Saturday, DR Sports Boxing.
Make sure you're there, man. We're going to be getting the beers out. We're going to be with the boys, having a great time. You do not want to miss it. Joyce, Zhang, put it in your calendar. Make sure you're there this Saturday on DR Sports, because it's about to get tasty.
Make sure you check it out.